Good afternoon and welcome to Kirtland High School for the 2022 CVC Football Media Day. I am Steve Hare, the Chagrin Valley Conference Sports Information Director. Up first, we were supposed to have Cuyahoga Heights, but they have not yet made their way here to Kirtland High School, so we are jumping ahead, and the Geneva Eagles are going to join us. Head coach Donald Shimsky. Coach, glad you and your guys could make it. I'm going to let you go ahead and start. Just introduce yourself. I believe you're new to the CVC, taking over for Coach Sorber. So go ahead and introduce yourself and just kind of give us a quick overview of what we can expect out of your squad in your first season. Grab that microphone. There's a little black switch. Flip that up, and you're good to go.
All right, so my name's Don Shimsky, and even though this is my first year as head coach, not new to the CVC, I've been at Geneva for many years now, and I've been an assistant under both Coach Sorber and Coach Hassett. The group of guys that we have this year, a lot of good athletic players, and we're very excited for what we can do this year. The guys that I have with me right here is this is Luke Smith, he's a junior, Johnny Hazler is a senior, Kenny Young, he's a junior, and Jake Wilson, who's a senior.
Okay, Coach, I'll get back to you after we talk to the guys. Go ahead and pass that microphone to your right. Gentlemen, I'm going to have you introduce yourselves, just name, grade, and what positions you play.
All right, I'm Luke Smith. I'm a junior, and I play running back and free safety.
Stay there until, we'll have them introduce it when they get the microphone.
Okay.
But right now, heading into junior year, obviously a coaching transition. Sometimes those are difficult. Obviously, Coach having some familiarity with the guys. How has that helped that transition?
I've been around Coach Shimsky for a while now. You know, it's nothing new. He's always been, part of our team. With Coach Sorber gone, I mean, it's different, but I think it's a great he's a great coach to pick up from him.
What's going to be different that people didn't expect coming into this year?
We got the same offense, same defensive coordinator, nothing really different. I think we threw a little bit more spread in this year. We usually are just a tight wing T team, but with Coach Pete, he wanted to try something different. We're going to throw the ball a little more with Kenny, our quarterback, and I think we're going to get things rolling.
Obviously, you got 11 guys on offense, 11 guys on defense, a special teams unit. What's going to be the strength of the squad this year?
Our defense, for sure, I think. We had a couple sophomores playing last year, so we got some experience. Really good seniors on this team, moving guys around, and I think we're very confident, and we're always prepared every game.
Give me your keys to victory. What's it going to take for Geneva to be successful this year and turn things around from last year?
I think confidence is a big one. Like I said, now we had some young guys playing last year, and we got some playing this year. The sophomore to junior jump's pretty big for us. We got a bunch of juniors and seniors playing, and we got some pretty good sophomores playing. I think confidence is really big for us, and just making big plays as a team.
What's your role this year? What's Coach expecting out of you on both sides of the ball?
I used to play quarterback, so that was a big role for me, but I think I can I play running back now. I think I can make some good blocks for our team and just be an all-around leader for our team. I think that's what my role is going to be this year.
Outstanding. Good luck to you this year. You can go ahead and pass that microphone to your right and go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
I'm Johnny Hazler. I'm going to be a senior, and I play left guard, and I'm one of the defensive ends.
All right, Johnny, obviously, again, going into a new year, this time you have a coaching change. Is the glass half full or half empty?
I think we're looking optimistic this year. We, as everyone has said, Sorber's left. I didn't spend that much time around him at practice. I'm a lineman for most of the practice, so we did switch our lineman coaching, but I'm really close with this coach too. I really like him. We're looking good.
Sounds like a cliche, but it's true. It comes down, football's a game. It's one up front, offensive line, defensive line. You play on both sides. Talk about both of those units and what people can expect this year.
For offensive line, this is I've been a part of the offensive line for 3 years now, and this is the first year where I feel completely confident that we could work as a team. And we talk really well. Last year I was out for most of the season, so it was a broken offensive line where people were in and out a lot. And this year we're really close as all 5 of us on offense. And I don't know, I feel like we could work well as a team. And on defense, it's 2 seniors, 2 sophomores, 2 juniors, and same goes with them. We all have strengths and weaknesses on the defensive line, but overall I think we can pull it together.
Offensively, it doesn't sound like you guys are changing too much. You like to run downhill, and for offensive linemen, that means getting off the ball fast and just becoming road pavers and knocking those guys down in front of you.
Yeah.
Defensively, what are you trying to do?
Well, we're taught at Geneva, at least, that we're not meant to make tackles. We make tackles. We're good at it, I think. But we're meant to eat up blocks, so our linebackers and our defensive backs could make as many tackles as we can. And so far, I think we've done at least a decent job of it.
Senior year, what are you looking to accomplish?
I just want to have some fun, play some football, I don't know, lead this team, at least get a few wins under our belt. We're a young team. We have a lot of younger linemen. So, I don't know. I just want to leave this place better than I found it.
Sounds good. Go ahead and pass that mic. He's got one in front of him. Go ahead there and introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
Hi, I'm Kenny Young. I play quarterback and corner.
All right. What grade?
Junior.
Junior. So going junior year, you get to become QB1. How you handling the pressure so far?
Going into this year, I was a little bit nervous taking up the QB spot, but I got it all handled. Studied a little bit. I got a good line this year. I feel really confident about going into this year.
You've got, all kinds of changes, a new head coach, some position coaches, a lot of new faces in the lineup, and obviously you stepping in as quarterback. You're going to be looked at as a leader even though you're a junior. So obviously you and being a quarterback, you're used to that your entire year. But how are you leading by example?
I'm leading by example of if I make a mistake or something, I just look at it and try to do better the next play or something. If a teammate did something wrong, just try to pick them up, get better at it.
Who are those guys in the backfield people are going to learn a lot about this year?
We got two new halfbacks this year. Actually, Luke Smith and Hayden Deemer this year. Feel really confident about them this year. We did really good our last couple scrimmages, so feel confident.
All right, and then cornerback as well. Chagrin division. There's quite a few teams that like to air the ball out. How ready is that group to get out there and shut some teams down?
I think we're actually really doing good on defense this year. We still got a lot to learn coming in, but I feel really, really confident for this Friday.
And then just one more on that quarterback position. What do you bring to the table as a quarterback? Geneva hasn't really been known as a team that throws the ball a lot. Are you bringing that dynamic?
Yeah, I think we'll do good passing. Hopefully we'll pass a little bit, but sometimes, we'll run a little bit. But hopefully we pass a lot more than we did a couple years.
I think Coach heard that, so he's over there. We'll see. It's game week, so we'll find out soon enough. All right, go ahead and pass that microphone to your right, and go ahead and introduce yourself. Name, grade, and position.
I'm Jacob Wilson. I'm a senior, and I play fullback and defensive end.
You're a big fullback. That's got to be nice to run behind there. You're an offensive lineman with the ball in your hands. Do they give it to you a lot? I mean, I know in that offense they typically do give the fullback.
Yeah, they give it to me a decent amount, but I like to block more and kind of create a hole for my teammates to really get down the field.
So you're just going to punish them one way or the other, whether you got the ball in your hands or not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think the strength of the offense is?
I think the strength of the offense is really our schemes and being able to open up holes for us to get downfield.
I mean, over the years, there have been some really talented players that have come through Geneva. Do you see that again this year?
Oh, yeah. I see a lot of the younger guys becoming more mature and really developing their skills.
What's going to be the key to this team? Just kind of raising the bar a little bit. Last couple of years, you've been hovering around 500, a little, or somewhere around there. What's going to be the key to changing that this year?
I think our key to changing that is really unifying as a team and just really getting the ball down the field and I don't know, just getting yards.
Geneva's always had that hard-nosed defense.
Yeah.
What can we expect this year?
Same thing, hard-nosed and keeping that quarterback pressured and not letting anybody outside.
I see on your shirt it says, "Here I am." What does that mean?
That means for everybody to really show who they are and step up and really just to show who you are and establish yourself and make sure that everybody knows who you are.
Sounds good. All right, well, good luck to you this year, you and your teammates. All right, Coach, back to you. Obviously, we talked a little bit about offense and defense, but, from the coach's perspective, what's it going to take for Geneva to turn things around and put together a winning year this year?
Well, I think it's a matter of staying healthy. This group it's been here at Geneva the last couple of years. We've got a lot of nice, talented players, but we have to make sure that we can keep them on the field. Depth might be an issue, but I think we've got a nice amount of guys at the skilled position that can fill in for us in all the areas that we need. But I think depth along the defensive and offensive lines, that'll be a concern. Hopefully we can stay healthy, knock on wood.
Who are some of the guys that, obviously you returned one all-conference performer from last year, some other guys that probably were all-conference worthy, but who are some guys that are going to make a name for themselves this year?
Well, I mean, the four guys here, that's why I brought them. These are the guys that, you'll be seeing their names in the paper quite a bit. And, on the defensive side of the ball, our inside linebackers, Bryce Pete, Logan Queen, those guys as well. I mean, you got to figure your inside linebackers are the two guys that are going to be making the majority of your tackles. We've got Luke, who will be in the middle controlling the secondary for us, and we expect him to be able to come down and make quite a few tackles. And then on the offensive side of the ball, I mean, we've already, we've got, our three of our main backs right here, minus, sophomore Hayden Deemer, and they'll get the lion's share of the carries. So those are the guys that will get their name in the paper, but our offensive line has to be cohesive and be able to implement our schemes in order for us to run the ball effectively or pass the ball effectively. We're going to do whatever it takes to win. I know Geneva's we've had that moniker of being a run-first team, and I'm fine with that because it's less of a margin of error. But we're going to do what it takes to win. If that means throwing the ball, then we'll throw the ball, but whatever it takes.
3 yards in a cloud of dust. Hopefully it's 6 or 7 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah, only three things happen when you throw the ball.
Right.
Two of them are bad.
Exactly. All right, Coach. Well, I appreciate you and the guys making the trip out here. It's game week, great time of year. So good luck to you this season, and we'll see you on CVC TV somewhere down the line.
Okay, great. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. That was the Geneva Eagles out here opening up CVC Football Media Day. Up next, we've got the Cuyahoga Heights Red Wolves joining us. Be just a moment as they take their seat at the table. I do want to mention that our sponsor is Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. We're going to go ahead and give them their shout out right now.
Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com.
Welcome back to the 2022 CVC Football Media Day, live from Kirtland High School. Well, actually, Kirtland Middle School, but they're all connected, so I'm going to say Kirtland High School throughout the day. Up next, we have who was supposed to be our leadoff hitter. They're now batting second, the Cuyahoga Heights Red Wolves, head coach Al Martin. Coach, glad you guys are here. Glad you can make it. Looking forward to another season. It's been, seems like 30, 35 years for you. It hasn't been quite as many, but you've been around a while. You've had a lot of success, but you need no introduction, so we don't have to go to that part. But go ahead and just give us an overview. What can we expect out of Cuyahoga Heights this year? Flip that switch on your microphone. There you go.
Sorry, we've been working really hard throughout the whole summer. Seth Kucia and Jacob Stewart, two of our primary skill guys, have joined me today. But we've had a really good summer. Really started before that in the winter and the spring. Our kids, a lot of our kids did a really good job getting in and getting in the weight room and getting stronger. And hopefully that'll pay off for them as the season progresses.
6-4 last year. You bring back 5 all-conference guys, so you've got a nice solid core. I'm sure you've got some young guys coming up, some guys that played last year that are ready to take even bigger roles. What's it going to take? You guys have had a couple of years, I don't want to say uncharacteristic, but a little bit down for your own standards, I'm sure. So what's it going to take to get back to where you want to be?
Yeah, I think you could call it uncharacteristic. We're not happy. We were 3-6 a couple years ago, 6-5 last year. I thought we played a little better. We lost some tough games last year to some good teams and had played well. We just made too many mistakes, which is something we're really focusing on this year. But we want to get back to the point where we're, in contention for the conference title and in contention to make deep runs in the playoffs, and that's the goals that the seniors set for the team this year. Like I said, they've worked really hard to get there. We've got a lot of new guys in new positions, a lot of young guys, some inexperienced guys, but our senior class has done a really good job in terms of leadership during this camp in the fall here and getting us ready for week 1.
And one thing I know that culture of the program just has to drive these younger kids, and I can't imagine they're happy either. Do you see that in their own effort and their own willingness to come out and do extra work?
Yeah, you can tell that they're very determined to, these guys it wasn't that long ago that we've been in the state finals and state semifinals, and these seniors particularly remember those times, and that's the goal they've set for themselves, to get back to that type of level football. And we got a long way to go. We've had a couple scrimmages, and we're not anywhere near where we need to be, but they can see what mistakes they've made, and they work really hard to correct them. And the leadership's been great. Our younger kids are working really hard to try to provide some support for the senior class this year.
All right, Coach, I'll come back to you after I talk to the guys. Grab that microphone in front of you. I'm going to have you introduce yourself, name, grade, and positions you play.
I'm Seth Kucia. I'm number 2, and I'm a senior this year. I play slot and safety.
Seth, one of the questions I asked Coach is just that culture, and obviously you guys haven't played to that standard that Cuyahoga Heights has been known for. How's it driven you as a senior class to kind of go out with a bang, so to speak?
Yeah, last year I got my season cut short a little bit from COVID, so this year I'm definitely got a chip on my shoulder, and looking at past years, us making it to the state finals a couple times, definitely driving us all, getting in the weight room, working hard on the field to make a state run again.
What have you learned from, not only the older guys that you've played with, but the classes that came long before you? I know everybody in Cuyahoga Heights went to the games on Friday nights, so you watched all those successful teams. What did you watch from those teams and learn from the older guys that you played with that you're going to implement this year so that younger guys can learn from you the right way to play Cuyahoga Heights football?
I learned that they all played tough 100% every single play. You can see the film, you'll have 11 people running to the ball every single play. And people that have the ball, they run hard 100%. They don't stop moving their feet. They just keep going every single play.
What's going to be the key to this team achieving its goals?
I think the key this year is our depth. We definitely have a lot of depth this year. We might not have the size, but we definitely have the heart and the toughness to go far this year.
Offensively, you guys aren't tricky. You don't try to surprise anybody. You come out, you grind the ball.
Triple option all day.
Yep. Every once in a while you have a nice air attack. Kind of like Kirtland. They like to pound the ball, but you can't just defend the run because they will beat you over the top. What can we expect this year out of the offense?
The triple option is deadly, and we set that up for the play action. So we get a big play here or there, a big touchdown. That's what we're really hoping for, a big run this year.
And then defensively, always blue-collar guys, hard-nosed kids that play tough. What can we expect?
This year we definitely have a bunch of ball hawks in the DB core and a bunch of tough linebackers. We have 3 really talented linebackers and OLBs and a big line that we're definitely really excited for.
As a senior, I have to imagine you have some big goals. I'm sure winning a state title is one of them. What else do you have? Individual and team goals. What are you hoping to accomplish?
My individual goal is definitely become first team all conference again. First team all state is definitely one up there. And just improve my overall game and get more touchdowns, get more interceptions, get more tackles, improve everywhere.
Outstanding. Good luck to you. All right, next up, go ahead and flip that switch. Make sure your mic's on and introduce yourself, name, grade, and positions.
My name is Jacob Stewart. I'm number 8. I'm a senior, and I play DB and wide receiver.
All right, so, same question. As a senior, just knowing that the standard at Cuyahoga Heights is so high, you guys haven't really hit that yet. How driven are you to kind of change things around your senior year?
I'm pretty driven. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play last year because I had an ACL injury. But just seeing how we were last year, I'm definitely ready to come back and help my teammates out as much as I can so that we can have that successful season that we've been waiting for.
Offensively, who are some of the guys that are going to shine this year?
There's definitely a lot. I wouldn't really say there's I don't really pick any out because I think we all are able to shine in our own ways and improve, and just do our own skills that we have. So,
in the past, obviously we've talked about the culture at Cuyahoga Heights, but now you guys kind of get to create your own. You're the Red Wolves this year, so you can play Red Wolf football. So how different can things be for this class?
I think there could be a lot of different things. I mean, there's a lot of new talents, a lot of new skills that we're bringing in, a lot of stuff that we really didn't have in the past that we're really optimistic about this year. Like, we might not be the biggest, as Seth said, but we definitely have the speed, we definitely have the heart that a lot of these older teams may or not have. So I think that there's a lot of new skill sets that we can use to be great this year.
Over the past couple of years, what do you think the problem was that just kind of kept you guys from really playing the way you wanted to?
I don't really think there was a problem with any of the players or any coaches like that. I think it was more of just like the COVID just kind of slowed us down, not being able to get as many practices in and not being able to like basically use our full potential that we were without COVID being there.
Do you just sense the guys from freshman class all the way up to the seniors all being on the same page, being driven to do what you guys need to do?
Yeah, you could definitely tell like our scout teams and that are definitely helping us a lot. Like they're pushing each other to like come out and hit hard during practice just to give us like that real life look that we would have in a game. So I think they're definitely bought in and ready to do whatever they can to help us make this run happen.
Metro Division, Independence graduated a bunch of guys. They were second in the conference. Lutheran West, they bring back a bunch of guys, but they graduated some key guys. So the door's open a little bit. What's it going to take for you guys to step up and win the Metro Division?
I think it's just going to take us just to have that mindset, just to go each game from each game, just thinking like if it's a rival, it's just another game that we got to go out there and go win, not just such a hard mindset of just saying like we need to beat this person. No, we need to beat everybody that we go on to go play so that we can have that mindset through the season and through the playoffs so that we can make that state run.
And then just what are your individual goals for this year? What are you hoping to accomplish?
I really don't have that many individual goals. I'm just more of looking just to do the best I can, keep my head in the game, watch film, and just be ready just to do whatever I have to do to make this happen.
All right, well, good luck to you and your teammates this season. Coach, back to you. Obviously you got a couple of your seniors here. What'd you think about what they had to say?
Well, I think they have the right mindset. They know we got to take it one game at a time. They know we got to keep getting better. Obviously, the better they play as seniors, that really helps us. You're really always every year kind of relying on that senior class. And having Jacob come back this year for us is really a big plus. You know, him being out last year took away a lot of the things that we could do offensively. He's really a special player in terms of his speed. So, and then we got a lot of guys, a lot of experience last year. I think going to play better this year. But we have a long way to go. Our kids know it. They understand it's one day at a time, trying to get better. We're in a tough league. We got some good teams, some good competition. We faced a lot of these teams last year, but we're excited for the season.
You've been there for forever. You don't have a whole lot of turnover on your coaching staff either. A lot of those guys. How much does that stability help that culture just kind of continue to turn over and just keep that machine rolling?
I think the consistency in the staff helps the kids because the expectations stay the same from year to year and the understanding stays the same from year to year. So I think it helps. We do have some young coaches that have just been around a few years that I think provide some motivation, some more enthusiasm, and have given us a little bit of a spark too, even us coaches. So I think we got a really good staff. They do a really good job working really hard for the kids, and the kids really put forth the kind of effort and that you need to be successful. So we're looking forward to it.
The guys mentioned some of their teammates, but who are some of the guys that have impressed you so far in preseason that you think are going to step up and make a name for themselves this year?
Well, I think the offensive line is somewhat inexperienced. We graduated some really good football players up there. We got a lot of guys battling up front, but from day one to this past scrimmage, this past Friday, the amount of progress those guys up front have made, you can see it on film, and they still got a long way to go. But the group up front is really going to determine how much success we have this year. Our skill kids will get the job done. We have enough skill kids to do well. And I think our offense line's coming, and the quicker they get to the point where they need to be, the better we're going to be.
I think over the years, up front, you've always been strong. You always have those kids that just, they'll run through a brick wall for you. So I think you've probably developed that mentality through the culture. Do you see that in your guys this year?
They're a very unselfish group. We had a skill kid. We've had some injuries up front this year. We had a skill kid just voluntarily move down to try to help us on the offensive line, Noah Wilson, and he's battling there every day trying to fight for a job as well. But all those guys are very unselfish. Our offensive line coaches do a really good job getting them to understand that their job is as important, if not more important than anybody else's. And our skill kids do a nice job of making sure those linemen get recognized and they understand how valuable they are for the team.
What are your goals for this team? I mean, obviously everyone wants to win that state title, but what kind of goals do you have?
I think every year as a coaching staff, we try to give the senior class the best opportunity for them to have as much success and as much fun as they possibly can. And that's our goal every year. And each week, it's just, you go to week by week in football, so we want to win next Friday. I mean, that's the goal. And each week we want to win every game. And the Friday night experience for kids, the sport of football is really tough, as you know. The amount of effort and time that's put in, and the fact that you rely on so many guys for your success. Sometimes in basketball you can get away with one or two guys kind of carrying. You just can't do that in football. So it is the ultimate team sport, and they put a lot into it. So every year it's just we're trying to give them the best opportunity to have a great experience.
Outstanding. Well, I appreciate y'all making the trip out here. Should be an interesting year in the Metro Division with some of the graduation losses over at Independence and Lutheran West. Like I said, I think they bring back the most, all conference guys. They were the conference champs last year, so they're probably the ones with the target on their backs right now, but it's a long season, and I think we've got you that rivalry game against that team, what is that, south of you? Is that what it is?
Yeah, a little bit south.
Yeah, a little south. So we'll have that game on CVC TV, Independence versus Cuyahoga Heights, so look forward to that this season. But that was Cuyahoga Heights, the Red Wolves out here at CVC Football Media Day. Appreciate you guys being here.
Thanks.
Once again, the CVC TV presentation of Football Media Day is presented by Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. We're going to give them a shout-out as we wait for Crestwood to step up here to the hot table next.
Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com.
Welcome back to the 2022 CVC Football Media Day, live from Kirtland High School. I'm Steve Hare, the CVC Sports Information Director. Up next, we've got the Crestwood Red Devils, and if you aren't aware, they are your defending Valley Division champions. 7-4 overall, 7-1 in conference play. Coach of the Year and 6 all-conference performers from last year return. Coach, you got to be thrilled coming in as defending champs. You got to be thrilled with that big core group of guys you have coming back and optimistic about what you can do this year. Let's go ahead and start out by introducing yourself and then give us an elevator pitch. What can we expect out of the Crestwood Red Devils this year?
I'm Jack D'Amato, the head coach at Crestwood High School. We're going to be tough. We're going to be a tough team. We might not be physically as imposing as some of the other teams inside our division, but our kids are tough kids that play hard.
Coming in as defending champs, do the guys feel that sense that, hey, we've got a bullseye on our back, everyone's gunning for us?
Definitely, and we talk about that a lot as a program, and what it means to be a defending champion of the league, and it's something that we don't take lightly, and we've worked really hard in the offseason to try to compete again. Crestwood's had 9. Last year was the 9th league championship ever in the history of Crestwood High School, and we talk about what that means and the importance of that, and to not take it lightly because it's very, very hard to be a league champion.
Well, you saw it last year. I mean, going into week 10, there were 3 teams that there were so many scenarios that anything could have happened that someone else could have won it. So you guys pulled it out. You went out and did what you had to do. But, yeah, that should serve as notice to your guys that it was that close.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really, that's the beauty of the Valley Division is, every team is so tough from top to bottom that it's really, really difficult week in and week out, and it makes for great football.
All right, Coach, I'll come back to you after we talk to your guys, but we'll go right to your right there. Go ahead and grab that mic. Make sure that black switch is up. Introduce yourself, name, grade, and positions you play.
I'm Noah Baker. I'm a senior. I play outside linebacker and receiver.
Noah coming in as a senior, obviously winning that conference title last year. You want to defend that. That senior class, how important is that to you guys?
I say it's really important. We want to end on a good note. We want to end with another championship for us and our team.
Winning that title last year, what was the locker room like after that, just when you guys clinched it? And you know, like Coach said, it was just the 9th in Crestwood history, so there weren't that many.
No, it was energetic. There's a lot of energy in there. We were having fun afterwards.
And then this year, what's been different from the offseason coming into preseason, and now you're into game week?
A lot of the seniors gone. They were a big part of our team and our energy. So them leaving, we have to find new ways to bump up our team and make us how we were last year.
What do you think the key is going to be this year?
We're going to have a lot of underclassmen and our smaller senior class step up. We're just going to have to step up and take command.
So obviously those underclassmen getting thrown to the wolves right away. Have you seen them kind of grow up in a hurry?
Yeah, I have.
That's the hard part, is you get these young guys. They may be talented, and it's all cool in practice, but then they step out in Friday night lights, and you know, you got freshmen playing against juniors and seniors. That's a different game. What are you guys doing as the older guys to just say, hey, you know, just kind of, you know, stay cool, do your thing, focus on your game, and don't worry about all those other things?
We have to really just watch over them, make sure they're learning everything as best as they can, and not trying to take in too much at one time.
Looking at your senior year, what are you trying to accomplish individually?
I'm just trying to go out there and play the best football I can. I'm not going to say it doesn't matter if we don't win, because I want to win, but I just want to go out there and play football.
What's your role? I mean, I know what your positions are, but how do they plan to use you?
I think I'm going to be a big, I'm going to have to step up and take a leadership role.
Give me a name that maybe people don't know right now, but in a few weeks, everybody will know. They're going to have a breakout year this year.
Charlie Summers.
What position does he play?
Quarterback.
Quarterback? All right, so that's a good guy to have a breakout year. All right, go ahead and pass that microphone to your right. You can go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
I'm Hunter Yoder. I'm offensive lineman and defensive end, and I'm a senior this year.
Hunter, I mean, you know, every interview we're going to talk about this, but it's that cliche, but it's the truest cliche of all cliches. Football is a game that's won up front, offense, defensive line. How confident are you that you guys, all those guys up front, are ready to roll on Friday night?
Oh, I definitely think our focal point of our offense and defense is going to be our line this year.
Who are some of those guys that are, you know, contributing to that group?
Well, we've got a lot of returners up front. We only lost one guy on our offensive line, and we have 2 people that were all CVC for offensive line last year.
So when you've got a good offensive line, they can make an average running back a great running back. You know, so what's the mentality of that group? I mean, do they go in just saying, hey, we're just going to, you know, pave the way right in front of you, doesn't matter who's there, you know, or do you guys get stylish and try to create gaps, that kind of thing?
We have a lot of very simple blocking schemes. Our coaches are doing a great job of teaching us where to be, when to be, who to hit, and we're just going through what we got to do.
And then how about on the defensive side of the ball? Some defensive linemen, some coaches like them just to kind of chew up blocks and fill gaps. Others like to, you know, have their guys a little bit more active and try and get in the backfield and create havoc. What's the goal of your team?
Our defense is made so that we're all gap sound. Every guy has their gap so that every gap is filled.
All right, what are you looking to accomplish this year?
I'm looking to get some good playing time on defense this year and playing the best football I can.
All right, good luck to you. He's got a microphone in front of him. He can grab that one. Just make sure that black switch is up. Go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
I'm Josh Ireman. I'm a senior, and I'm a receiver and cornerback.
All right, so Josh, you know, last year coming off that conference title, what did it mean to you as a junior and now coming into your senior year?
It definitely meant the world because that's probably the best memory I've ever had for football. And going into the year, we didn't know how we were going to do, especially coming off a not-so-good sophomore year. So it was great for all of us. So.
And that was Coach's first year, right? Yeah. So obviously now you guys have learned a lot from that year. What's been different or easier because of that experience last year and all of his systems?
Definitely just learning the systems. It's been way easier. Coming off of last year, being able to get reps as a varsity player, it's been way easier to just go in and slide in and be able to take over that cornerback position and the receiver position. It's been very sound throughout the whole process, so I'm very thankful for that.
over the years, and I'm not too sure about last year, but over the years, Crestwood hasn't exactly been a wide receiver-friendly offense. What's your role this year?
Definitely, I'm gonna have to do what's best for the team, whether it be me catching the ball or whether it be me blocking down the field. So definitely just gonna have to adjust based on what the game plan is throughout the year. So I'm excited for what's coming and whatever I can do to help the team win.
And then on the defensive side of the ball, what's the strength of that defensive secondary?
I'd say definitely our ability to read people's hips. I think we're pretty good at being able to basically learn the routes that the other team's running and be able to get on top of them. So I think we'll be just fine after losing 2 starting cornerbacks last year. I think we'll be able to slide in and do just fine this year. So.
And I think those are some pretty big shoes to fill if I remember who they were. But so obviously you've got to be able to step up as a senior and elevate your game a little bit. What did you do in the offseason to make sure you're game ready and ready to take that next step?
I was in the offseason lifting, trying to go to the field, trying to run because I didn't play any sports besides basketball. So trying to put in that work to be able to be the best I can be to help this team win this year, to get back to being league champs. So.
Who do you think's going to have a breakout year this year?
Definitely Nate Blaz. He's our running back, taking over his brother's shoes from last year. So.
All right. And those are big shoes to fill, too. You guys had some outstanding players. You bring back a whole bunch of them, too. So looking forward to another great year out of the Red Devils. But, Coach, let's throw it back to you. And, you heard what your seniors had to say, or at least some of your seniors. How optimistic are you that you guys are, number one, you have the physical presence and then the mindset to repeat and maybe take another step and make a deeper run in the postseason?
Sure. And obviously, every coach is going to say it, but we take it week by week. And that's really what we've preached is, it's great to repeat and it's great to be a champion. And those feelings should never go away from us because we'll have those for the rest of our lives. But at the end of the day, it's a different team. We're a completely different team than we were last year. And, we have to take it week by week. We have to get our older guys to step up because we're very sophomore heavy in our half of our team is sophomores. And they're going to play a good majority of football for us and some of them haven't ever played varsity. We had some kids that were all league as freshmen. We had 2 that will come back. But we need the leadership from our juniors and seniors to step up and help that sophomore class along.
I think you said one of the most important things right there is that this is a very different team than last year. And, sometimes guys are like, we won it last year. We returned all these guys. Nobody's going to give it to you. You got to go back out there and earn it. And that's the hard part about developing a culture where, we expect to win, but we also know we have to earn it the same way we did the first time. And
absolutely. And for us, it's, like I said, a week-by-week thing and day-by-day, really. Because we just try to get better every day, and our standard doesn't change. We have a championship standard, and that's what we talk about when we talk about the Crestwood way. It's a championship standard, and that doesn't change for anything. It doesn't change for we say standard over feelings. You know what I mean? And that's at the end of the day, we want to win, but we also want to develop these guys into great young men.
Right, and that's the key of high school sports, and everybody wants to win. But you just nailed it right there. You could win a state title, have a bunch of dudes that aren't real good people. People aren't going to remember them and cheer for them later in life. But you develop the right guys and win, and it's a special feeling. You develop the right guys and have an okay season. It's still a good feeling. You develop that family bond, and
absolutely. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create men that can go back into the Manaway, Hiram, Shalersville communities and give back. And we've started a lot of different ways to do that through our Gridiron Club and some other things that we do. But it's very important for us to be men and be better men inside our community. And at the end of the day, we can bring back these championship teams hopefully in 25 years or whatever, and we can have these memories and these talks and have a great time. But we want them to be great men at the end of the day.
Outstanding. All right. Well, Coach, appreciate you and the guys being here. That is the Crestwood Red Devils, your defending Valley Division champions. Good luck to you and your teammates this year, and look forward to seeing you out there on the field. All right, that was the Crestwood Red Devils here at the 2022 CVC Football Media Day, live from Kirtland High School. Once again, we are on CVC TV, and that is always presented by Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. We want to give them a shout out as our next team, the Grand Valley Mustangs, are taking their seat here at the hot table.
Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com.
Welcome back to the 2022 CVC Football Media Day. I am Steve Hare, the CVC Sports Information Director. This is stream number 2. We have 2 streams going today. Bill Tilton currently is over to my left interviewing the Harvey Red Raiders. You can watch both streams live on ChagrinValleyConference.com, or you can watch them archived at your convenience. They'll be on ChagrinValleyConference.com and on YouTube. Up next, we've got the Grand Valley Mustangs. They were 6th in the Valley Division last year. They returned 5 all-conference performers, so obviously I know the Mustangs are looking for bigger and better things this year. Coach, thanks for making the trip out here. I'm going to start with you. I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself and just kind of give us your overview. What can we expect out of the Mustangs here? I believe it's year number 2 for you?
This is my 4th year.
Fourth year. Oh, gosh. It's been a while then.
Yeah. Thanks for having us out here. We appreciate you putting the spotlight on our kids. We have high expectations this year. We are returning 17 of 22 starters from last year's team, which is a little different from what we had last year. Last year, 21 of our 22 starters were new to their positions that they were playing, so we were a little inexperienced last year. So this year we bring back a ton of experience, led by, these are our 4 captains here. We have a great senior class. They've been doing a great job of leading us in the offseason, and we're ready for the season to kick off.
Yeah, so obviously all that inexperience kind of played into last year. The success as far as wins wasn't there, but the success as far as the players stepping up and earning recognition from their peers, the coaches across the league, that was there. So now they've got that year of experience under their belt. Have you seen difference in preparation and effort and just everything coming together a little bit earlier in the preseason?
Yeah, this senior class is very special. We've always had a good group of kids as seniors, but these guys have done a great job of going above and beyond what they're expected to do. Starting at 6 a.m. workouts, they're there every morning, busting their butt. They're bringing the young guys along and doing the things outside of football that make us what we need to be a championship team.
All right, Coach, I will come back to you after we talk to your guys. You can pass that microphone right to your right. I'm going to have you go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and what position you play.
I'm Nathan Boyarski. I'm a senior for Grand Valley, and I play quarterback and DB.
Nathan, I've seen your name all over. You're a multi-sport athlete, pretty good athlete in every sport apparently. So just, talk about this year coming in with a little bit more experience across the board. How much more excitement is there around the locker room?
There's a lot of excitement around the locker room, really. We're pretty much excited for the season to start. We're really, really looking forward to Jefferson this year. Big game on the schedule. And
what do you sense is different from the offense this year?
From the offense, I think we're going to be pretty good on the offensive level. We have a great line. We got a lot of young kids stepping up, big roles they had to fill, and by what I've seen from the scrimmages, they've definitely showed me what they got, and they're ready for this season.
Looks like we got a couple of linemen on the table, right?
Yeah.
So I'll let them talk about that. So I'll stick to you. Skill-wise, what are you guys trying to accomplish through the offense? What's the game plan this year?
The game plan this year?
Not giving away any secrets, but what do you guys like to do?
Last year we struggled a little bit with our run game, so we tried to improve on that. We're trying to basically perfection. That's what we're trying to get this year. We're trying to perfect everything, so no mistakes, nothing. That's kind of what we're here for, and we're trying to incorporate that pass game a little bit more this year.
What's the scouting report on you as a quarterback? Again, don't give away any secrets, but what do you bring to the table?
I bring to the table. I run the ball. They gotta if I'm going to roll out of the pocket, they either have to go cover my receivers or they have to either decide to come and play me in the run, because I'm always a run threat quarterback, and I'll run the ball if they give me the opportunity to.
So dual threat makes your offense dangerous. Who are some of your wide receivers and running backs that help take the pressure off of you?
Our junior running back, Bobby Rogers, he's our main guy. He's put in a lot of work this offseason, building up strength. Big guy to look forward to this year. Then our running backs, James Phillips, a senior, Casey Turner, a senior, have all stepped up this year. Looking forward to them. Ready for the season to start, really.
All right. What are your goals for senior year?
My goals, basically leadership. I'm ready to step up as a leader, really. Show, like, the young kids, teach them, and kind of want to win some more games this year than in the past.
Sounds good. Good luck to you. Go ahead and pass that mic to your right. And same thing. Just go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and positions you play.
Aiden Whitwright. I play wide receiver, and I'm a senior this year.
All right, so you get to be one of the guys that catches the pass from your quarterback there. Grand Valley hasn't really been known as a pass-heavy team in the past. Is that something that's changing with you?
We have a lot of pass plays. It's just we haven't had as much time in the past, but this year we have a good line, so I think we'll have time to throw the ball more this year.
What do you think is going to be the key this year to success? Last year, as Coach mentioned, you had a lot of inexperienced guys. This year, they've got a year under their belt. You bring back some other guys that have a lot of experience and talent.
Yeah, I think we have a lot more leadership this year, and guys are stepping up all over the place, and I think we'll be a lot better this year.
Valley Division, last year it was a 3-horse race there at the top. I think most of those 3 teams graduated some key pieces, so it looks like the door is open for whoever wants to bust it open. How ready are you guys to take your chance at winning a conference title?
I think we're really ready this year, and people aren't going to see us coming. They're doubting us, but I think we'll have a good chance to get up there.
Give me some names. Who do you think are going to be players that step up this year and surprise some people?
Logan Martin and Jason and Chuck on the line, and like he said, Bobby Rogers, Dylan Hyvick at tight end. A lot of guys are doing good this year.
What kind of goals do you have for your senior year?
Just a few more touchdowns than last year, and I don't know.
Everybody likes those touchdowns. You got to dance. You can't do them in high school, but I know you got to practice them in practice and backyard stuff, right? All right, pass that microphone down there, and same thing. Go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and positions.
Charlie Clayson. I am a center, senior, and I'm coming back from last year.
Just offense, not a two-way lineman?
So I'm going to have 2 new guard and tackle on the right side and 2 coming back seniors on the left. And the 2 freshmen are doing real good. I think we're going to have a very strong line this year, and we'll be able to hold them back.
But I was saying you just play on the offensive side?
Yeah.
You don't play?
No,
okay.
I don't really play defense that much.
All right.
Some, but not really.
All right, but going back to the offensive line, so you got some returners, you got some new guys. How's that group gelling so far?
I think we're all connecting pretty well. We're all talking, and everybody's doing what they're supposed to. We have a few mistakes that we need to work on, but other than that, everything's going pretty well. We have some freshmen that want to actually get their position, so that helps a lot.
Going out trying to earn it.
Yep.
It's good, pushing each other. What do you guys try to do on the offensive line? You just push off the ball, knock everybody over, or are you finesse linemen?
We have a lot of double teams that we'll run. We'll come off after we get the first line moving. We'll do some pass blocking and stuff, but other than that, we're not really too picky.
How have you developed as an offensive lineman? Being the center, you're that quarterback of the line. You get to make the calls. I don't know if you do that, Coach, if you're giving those guys the opportunity there to put everybody in the right position. But how have you developed your skills as a lineman?
It's definitely showed me how to be a leader, calling, and it's a lot of responsibility doing all the calls and stuff, making sure everything's right. Because if I screw up, then everybody screws up, so I'm kind of the head. If I screw up, then that place to go on. So, and it just needs to show that I have to put some effort into making sure everything goes right and smooth.
In your opinion, who's the lineman that's really going to make a name for himself this year?
I think Jason Byers or Logan Martin's really going to make a good name for themselves. I think Jason has a lot of potential later on if he decides to play in, so does Logan.
All right, sounds good. He's got one in front of him. You can grab that microphone and introduce yourself, name, grade, and positions. Flip it up. There you go.
Hi, my name's Jason Byers. I'm a senior lineman. I'm the right guard this year.
So you just got some high praise from your teammate there. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. I mean, I know Chucky can do a lot on the line, and I feel like I deserve the praise, but as long as I don't get hurt again this year.
Yeah, that's always a plus. You don't want to get hurt. Coming in, you like your teammate said, you've got an experienced line, but you've got some new faces in there. What are you doing as one of the senior guys to help those younger guys settle in and learn what they have to do and become a cohesive unit?
Well, really just trying to coach them up, make sure they know their crap. Me and Chuck run meetings after practice almost every day, talking to them, making sure they know what's going on and telling them all the plays and making sure they know the blocking schemes and stuff.
What's the key to your game as a lineman? What do you like to do?
Go out and dominate.
Coach O'Yo, yeah, that's what everybody likes to hear. What's going to be the key to your season this year for you to be successful?
Run the ball.
Just run the ball behind you, or
put it right behind me and Martin, that right side of the line. We almost got 600 pounds combined between the right guard and the right tackle. Just run it behind us.
Where's the beef? It's on the right side, apparently. All right. Looking at your squad, what do you think the key for this team is just to go out and turn their fortunes around from last year and have a better season?
Just stay run heavy. I mean, obviously throw in them boots and stuff, kind of keep them on their toes, keep the pass game alive, but stay run heavy, be physically dominant on the line, and just rely on us.
Outstanding. I like that. I love linemen, Coach. All right, Coach, going back to you, talked a little bit of, a lot more about the offense than the defense, so kind of give us an overview on that defensive unit. You can't win games without it.
No, our defense is going to be pretty solid this year. Again, we turn a lot of stars. Our back end of our defense is all four guys that started for us last year, and we're going to be really good up front as well with our defensive line. And, if you have a good front end, a good back end, I think it's going to make a good defense for us.
We talked, you brought these four guys, so you're counting on them to step up and do some big things. Who are some of the other guys you're looking for to have a big season?
Well, we've got a good senior class, but we don't just have seniors. We have some juniors. Bobby Rogers, as Nate mentioned, he's going to play both ways for us. He's going to be a threat for us on offense, and he's a ball hawk on defense. You better account for him in your blocking scheme, and you better make sure he's not around the ball when it's in the air. Brady Bogdan, Dylan Hyvick up front. There are two defensive ends. They're going to wreak havoc on quarterbacks. I think we got to have a real solid defense this year.
Keys to victory for you. Obviously, last year, I'm sure didn't meet anybody's expectations. What's it going to take this year to be successful in your eyes?
We've got to be physical up front, and I think we've got the guys that can do it. We've got to take care of the football. And I probably the biggest thing that it's going to allow us to be more successful than last year is to eliminate the mistakes. So many times last year we gave away free plays because somebody didn't know what they were doing or we went the wrong direction, and that kills an offense. And as Nate said, we've been working on perfection. If we can perfect the plays and keep drives alive, I think that will make a big difference in our season this year.
And then just, looking at what your guys said here, and you mentioned it earlier, you have a nice mix of those seniors, the experienced guys, the inexperienced guys. How important is this senior leadership, and are you satisfied with the way they've performed in that regard so far heading into week one?
Yeah, so far it's been phenomenal. We always talk with the seniors, our season's going to go as the seniors go, and these guys have done a tremendous job. Like I mentioned, they've gone above and beyond. They're doing things, outside of football and the classrooms and stuff like that to try to be leaders and try to get guys doing the right things. So we're expecting Grand Valley. We always have high expectations, so it doesn't change this year.
Outstanding. All right. Well, I appreciate you gentlemen coming out, and best of luck to you this season.
Thank you for having us.
All right, that was the Grand Valley Mustangs here at CVC Football Media Day. Up next, we've got the Edgewood Warriors. And once again, we are going to recognize our sponsor of CVC TV, which is Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery.
Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com.
Welcome back to the 2022 CVC Football Media Day, live from Kirtland High School. Once again, I am Steve Hare, the CVC Sports Information Director. Before we get started here with the Edgewood Warriors, I do want to present our CVC TV football schedule for the fall season. It is right there up on your screen. We are going to kick off this week with a rivalry game, Beechwood at Orange, and we are going to have 11 games in 10 weeks. Of course, this schedule is subject to change, but we wanted to throw this out there so you get a little taste of the action that we're going to bring to you this season, all courtesy of Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. We will also stream some soccer and volleyball matches, and we're trying to get some creative opportunities in there for cross-country and girls tennis as well, trying to stream some of their competitions this year. But without further ado, let's get over here and talk to the Edgewood Warriors. Head coach Manny Cooper. Coach, welcome back. It was good to see you last year. Glad you could make it out again this year. I'm going to start with you. Just go ahead and give us a little elevator pitch. What can we expect out of the Warriors this season? Flip that little switch up on your microphone. There you go.
Absolutely. We have a hard-nosed football team. We've had a great offseason. We've done a lot of hard things, but we want to become a group that does hard things well. So I put them through the paces over the last 5-6 months, and they've done a great job of responding. So with the Edgewood Warriors, you're going to get a bunch of hard-nosed kids that play the game the right way. But most importantly, we've earned the right to be successful based on how we've worked in the offseason. So we're not looking for anything other than an opportunity to be successful this season. But hard-nosed kids that do things the right way and want to be successful.
2-8, obviously, nobody's happy with that. You could look at it two ways. You can go into an off season and say, we had a bad year. Everybody is apathetic about it. Nobody goes out, does anything to change it. Or you could say, you know what, I'm not satisfied with that. I'm going to come up every day. I'm going to do something to make a difference next year. Which way did you see your guys?
Yeah, I would say our guys trended towards the positive aspect of that, understanding that in order to do things that you've never done before, you have to become someone you've never been. So that meant we had to work in a way that Edgewood Warrior football players have never worked before. And our players did a great job of responding to the challenges that they were presented from a work standpoint. And that's pretty much where we are right now. Our numbers have increased drastically. We went from a team of 35 to a program of 51. So having that type of growth numbers-wise allows us to compete daily, practice-wise, but it also allows us to keep our guys fresh. Which ultimately is going to help us over the course of a 10-week season.
Well, that's definitely one of the keys, just getting the numbers and having that ability to, you don't have to have your best players playing both ways all the time. They can take some plays off, get some rest, and be ready for that fourth quarter run. So,
absolutely.
Coach, I'll come back to you after we talk to your guys. Go ahead and pass that mic right to your right. Gentlemen, when it's your turn to talk, I'm going to have you introduce yourself, name, grade, and what positions you play. You can start.
Nick Barger. Center, right guard, D tackle, and I'm a junior.
Here, I thought you were going to be the quarterback. Coming in, obviously junior year, you've got this year and another year to change the culture, create a legacy at Edgewood. Obviously, as we said, last year probably didn't sit well with anybody. How did it motivate you to work in the offseason?
It motivated me because it left a sour taste in my mouth losing to some teams that I did not want to lose to with that rivalry, and I really wanted to improve, work like a dog, have everyone behind me so we can really come back next year and surprise them.
That success is going to start up front. You're one of those big guys up there. Talk about that unit, some of the guys, and what it's going to take to lead the way to a successful season.
It's going to take a lot of hard work and dedication. We have to back each other up, respect each other, make sure everyone's supported and everything, and all of a sudden we have to keep working.
Give me a guy that maybe nobody knows right now, but in a few weeks everybody's going to know.
I would say Manny Cooper.
What is he doing so far that's impressed you?
He's really stepped up and taken the role as starting center for varsity. He's really started to step up, started putting in a lot of work, starting to motivate us, making sure we're working too.
What's the scouting report on you? What do you bring to the table?
I would say hard-nosed player that really works hard, really wants to just go get after people and keep going, keep my foot on the gas and don't stop.
You've got some senior leaders, I'm sure, but you're a junior in a big role there on the offensive line.
Yep.
What are you bringing as far as a leadership style?
I would say a lot of respect towards the leadership style, and pretty much if you respect me, you put in work, I'm going to give you the same back, and I'm going to make you go harder, and you're going to make me go harder, and we're just going to keep getting better.
Give me your goals for this year. What are you trying to accomplish individually?
I would say try to make first team and then first team offense and just get after it, get a better record, keep going.
All right, good luck to you this season. Pass that microphone to your right. And same thing, you can go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and positions.
Nick Wyman, defensive end, left tackle, and I'm a junior.
All right, it's another two-way lineman guy. Well, he talked about the offensive line. I'll talk about the defensive line with you. What's the goal of that group? What do you guys try to do?
We worked on hard stopping the run this year. Last year we weren't a real big run stop defense, but we got some big guys up front this year. We're going to stop the run.
What kind of size are we talking?
The interior, we really got size on the interior, and there's speed on the outside too, at the ends.
Defensively, do you guys try to fill gaps, or are you trying to beat your man and wreak havoc in the backfield?
We do a little bit of everything, so filling gaps, wreaking havoc, everything around that.
All right. Who are some of the guys you think are going to have a big year in that group?
Patrick Fagan at the other defensive end spot, he's definitely going to have a big year. And really Nick next to me, he should have a big year at defense tackle.
So having that size up there, that's got to be a confidence boost for the guys in the back, gives them a little bit, cuts up some of the pressure that they face, not giving quarterbacks too much time to throw or running backs too much space. As a unit defensively, how confident are you that everybody's on the same page and ready to step up Friday nights?
Really, this defense is a defense that nobody's ever seen from Edgewood before, and I couldn't be more confident in our defense this year.
Offensively, going back to the line a little bit, who's another guy that you think might have a big year?
I'd probably say Alex Mulaski at left guard. He's really stepped up this season.
What do you think the key is for this team to turn things around, have a big year?
Really, we got to be able to run the ball and stop people from running the ball on defense. We got to be a hard-nosed team.
All right, good luck to you. You can go ahead, number 3, grab a microphone, and make sure that black switch is up. Introduce yourself, name, grade, and positions.
Christian Cunningham, wide receiver, corner, kick returner, senior.
All right, Christian, senior year headed into that. Obviously, you want to go out with a bang. What's it going to take for this team, obviously, to win more games, but just to satisfy yourselves and be successful with the way things end?
Just believe in the coaching. Do your assignment, do your job. Offenses are designed to confuse defenses. Just what you're supposed to do. Go out and do it. Don't get confused.
What kind of offense are you guys running this year?
It's a little bit of everything. It's balanced.
So being a wide receiver, obviously you want to see that ball get thrown through the air quite a bit, or get involved in some wide receiver reverses, that kind of thing. How do they plan to use you?
I do a lot of different things. They use me to go deep. They use me for sure underneath. But as far as running, we have 2 hard running backs. I don't need to do any of that.
All right, so you guys are going to be a little run heavy, you think? Rely on those guys a little bit, and your big offensive line?
We're skilled in every position, really. We don't really have to do one or the other. We're balanced across the board. If we want to run the ball, we can run the ball, and if we want to put it in the air, we can put it in the air.
All right. And then defensively, we're talking about that, the big guys up front and the ability they have to fill gaps and also get around the corners. As a defensive back, how nice is that for you to have a defensive line that can kind of get to that quarterback and wreak some havoc on the defense?
It makes it easier for me. I don't have to guard the guy as long because they're already on the quarterback. So it makes it a lot easier on me. It also makes me feel better knowing that, you know, I rarely will probably have to come down and stop a run.
What, looking at your individual goals, what are you hoping to accomplish as a senior?
I want to break some records.
What kind of records? Which ones?
Probably the most receiving yards in a year.
You know what they are right now?
Nah.
Not yet? Well, you better find out what they are. You got to have those goals. Goals are quantifiable, so you got to know what they are. All right.
I just want to win.
Give me a breakout player. Someone you think that's going to have a big year.
One of our outside wide receivers.
What's his name?
Ben. How do we pronounce it? Ben? Schwartzfigger. Yeah.
All right.
Ben Schwartzfigger.
I'm just going to say Ben S. because I'm not going to be able to pronounce
this.
I'm with you. All right, man. Good luck to you. Go ahead and he's got one in front of him. He can grab that microphone and just go ahead. Same thing. Just introduce yourself, name, grade, and positions you play.
Tony Hall, 2024 junior, and I play quarterback and outside linebacker.
All right. Starting quarterback this year?
Yeah.
All right. Heading into that. Did you start last year?
Week 4 I came in and started.
Okay, so you've got some experience under your belt. How much did that help you prepare for this year?
Honestly, that helped me a lot more because I know last year once I had to start and go from week 4 to week 10, I was very nervous every single week, but I tried to do the best that I could. Coming into our scrimmage against PV, I felt a lot better than I did myself. I didn't really have much butterflies other than the fact that I wanted to win, and I think that last year prepared me a lot for this season.
Offensively, what are you guys trying to accomplish?
I really think it's just very balanced. I think we're going to go for 250 passing yards, 250 rushing yards a game, and get a win. We have 2 really good running backs. Our receiver core is very well. Our line's really good as well, and I think that we can do whatever we want.
It's a lot of offense. Coach, 500 yards a game. Yeah, he'd be happy, man, if that happens. All right, just skill-wise, who are some of the guys that you know, whether you're handing the ball off or you're throwing it, you can count on those guys?
Well, Christian Cunningham to my left. We have Anthony Hunt, Ben. Every single receiver that we have, I'm confident with them that they're going to catch the ball, go to where they got to be. If I look in a hole and they're not there yet, I know they'll get there at some time, and I can throw it there, get them the ball, get a couple yards. And I know our running backs are going to get down the field, like Zeke Lucas and Seth Enos. They're probably the 2 hardest runners I've ever seen in my life. Their weights, how much they lift is absolutely insane. I've never seen someone lift that much weight. But no, they're very hard-nosed kids, and they'll be able to run hard.
Last year, sometimes when you have a lack of success, the confidence kind of dwindles and you come into a new season and guys aren't real sure of themselves. It doesn't sound like this group has any of those lingering feelings. It sounds like you guys put that year behind you and now you're a little bit more confident. What was the change? How did that happen?
Well, I think that coaches have gotten to us that we're not going to be the Edgewood of old. And the Edgewood of old has never really been – we haven't really been confident. And you can kind of tell that we started this thing called perfect play. So at the end of every single practice we make a perfect play, and then we all get hyped because that's one thing Edgewood's not really used to doing is scoring a bunch, getting hyped at the end of a play. So I think us starting to get more hype and confident with ourselves is going to help us a lot this season.
What are you looking to accomplish this year individually?
I really just want to help my team win as much as I can. If I get first team's cool, but whatever I can do to help my team win, that's all I want.
Outstanding. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, Coach, back to you to wrap things up. You got to hear from your guys. It sounds like up front you're big, you're strong, you're athletic, and have the ability to change a game that way. Your skilled guys are confident. What do you think about what they had to say?
I think it's year 2. Almost going back to Tony's point. Last year I was able to almost have like a redshirt season because I was an intern. I was the interim head coach last year, so nothing, even though I was in charge, nothing really fell on me. So this year, having a full offseason, able to really put my stamp on the team and implement some different things to kind of change their mentality, their mindset, how they approach things. And ultimately, it is about confidence. If you step on the field and you don't have confidence, it's hard to be successful. So just infusing that confidence in them, but not just by telling them things, by again, putting them through hard things and then letting the accomplishment kind of infuse that confidence into them. So the belief, all those things come from accomplishing things. So we just try and make sure on a daily basis we are putting them in a competitive environment, competitive atmosphere that allows that self-confidence to grow intrinsically so that they know they're capable of doing whatever it is we set out to do, which on Friday nights is to be successful. And whatever that takes, we're willing to go wherever we need to go because we've worked like that. So if it's a 4-quarter game, if it's a 3 overtime game, we're willing to go wherever we need to go, and we're also capable of going there. I think in the past we haven't necessarily prepared ourselves as best we could physically and or mentally so that when you hit those walls or you're playing against a tough opponent, your ability to push through and keep going is predicated upon the work you've done up to that point. So if you haven't put in too much work, there's a good chance you're going to quit. So our guys know we're not going to quit. We've worked too hard to quit. We also understand what it is to have regrets because a lot of them have varsity experience. So they never want to leave the field with regrets. And the only way you can do that is by putting yourself out there, putting everything on the line, and then being young man enough, and me as a coach being man enough to live with the results. Understanding that if the results aren't what we need them to be or what we expect them to be, we can go back to the drawing board and figure some things out. We will have another opportunity to get that done. So ultimately, it's been a beautiful offseason just because our offseason has involved work that our guys have never done before. So we employed a 5-day work schedule, and I would say we've had probably 85% attendance on a 5-day work schedule. So, for example, when it came time for camp, our kids were ready for camp because we had already been practicing like that. So there was no adjustment for our kids to make when camp rolled around. So we rolled right into camp practicing 5 hours a day, and our kids were accustomed to that just because of how we've been working. So we're anxious for the season to start. We understand we get 10 opportunities, and I'm just going to put it out there. We're looking to play in Week 11. We got goals. We got things that we work for. So, again, we might as well put it out there, put the rest of the conference on notice. We're looking to play Week 11.
I like it.
When you play against the Edgewood Warriors, you're going to get a hard-nosed team. We're not backing down from anybody. We just want an opportunity to show how great we can be, and we believe it. We believe it because we work for it.
I was going to end with a last question of what are your keys to success, but you nailed them already, so you just gave them all right there. But, yeah, sounds like you guys have a mission, and it starts on Friday. So best of luck to you. Appreciate y'all making the trip out here. That was the Edgewood Warriors, and they put the league on notice. They're coming. So good luck to you, gentlemen. All right, that was the Edgewood Warriors out here at CVC Fall Sports Media Day. Up next, we've got the Lutheran West Longhorns, your defending Metro Division champions. Cruising along with some conference champions here, defending champs. We've got, we had the Valley Division champs earlier. We've got the Metro now, and I think, yes, about a half an hour we'll have the Chagrin Division champs. So. Commissioner Don Lewis just stepped in. I see my prop got removed. Can you guys just slide that way just a little bit? Everyone keeps moving that way, and then everybody's off center. That's perfect. So, all right, we got the Lutheran West Longhorns joining us now. Coach, appreciate you being here. I'll start with you. Grab your microphone. Make sure that black switch is in the up position, and just go ahead and introduce yourself and give us your elevator pitch. What can we expect out of the defending champs this year?
I'm John Perella, head football coach at Lutheran West. Blessed to be here. Thank you for having us. We're excited for this season, our second year at Lutheran West. And, you know, we've got a team that, you know, for us, we're excited about the kids we have coming back, the new young men on our team, and just trying to improve every day.
You come back, you're the returning coach of the year. You bring back the defensive player of the year. 8 all-conference players returned from last year, and you went 5-0 in league play. So I have to imagine after winning the conference last year, bringing back everybody you do, the expectations might be just a little bit higher this year.
You know, our expectations just get better every day. It's truly, I say it all the time, and it's truly, we try to improve every single day. I think that's a challenge for everyone, especially young men in high school, is that to evaluate yourself daily and improve daily. You know, alignment, assignment, and achievement. How did I do? What do I have to fix? How do I improve? And, you know, in terms of, you know, mind, body, and soul. It's all 3 phases of your life, your game, your schoolwork, everything it may be.
I know last year you guys had a really good defense. I enjoyed watching that group play. Had a great running back, two of them actually that I got to see play. They both had big games when I saw them. Are we going to see a lot of the same thing this year? Anything in any changes?
It's stay the course for us. Always little adjustments here and there. But biggest thing is it's not plays, it's people. It's how can you improve yourself daily. Maybe in the weight room, maybe in your conditioning, maybe in practice. Your effort. We're always coaching effort. We can't take that for granted. And just work every day. We're excited about our running backs. One of them is here today. Jamarion Banks, we're excited about him, but we're excited about other guys that can run the ball as well. JoJo Ravanelli is one of them. Durante Fullerton, just to name a few guys. Anthony Evangelos, different people who can share the load carrying the football for us. But for us, it's stay the course and just try to get better.
All right, Coach, I'll come back to you after we talk to you guys. You can pass that microphone right to your right. Guys, when it's your turn to talk, I'm going to have you introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
My name is Clay Noble. I am the senior quarterback here at Lutheran West, and I'm really looking forward to the season.
All right, coming in senior year, obviously after winning the conference title last year, I have to assume you're feeling pretty good off that, but that was last year, and I'm sure you guys harp on that. Coaches tell you, hey, nobody's going to hand it to you. You got to earn it this year. What have you guys done as a senior class just to make sure nobody's saying, we won it last year, we're going to win it again this year?
We just come together, and we're not going to take any teams for granted, and every week we're just trying to get better and hopefully come back with the conference again.
Offensively, you have a strong running game. I know you had some big guys up front. What do you see as the strength of the team this year offensively?
I mean, we get better every day. I mean, we have a strong run game. We have a strong pass game. We can do it all. We like to keep teams on our toes, and we don't let them know what we're going to do. So they have to prepare every week for us.
You're not a small guy under center, so I imagine you're pretty deadly with the ball in your hands?
I run if I have to, and I trust my running backs too. If I have to run the ball, I can get a couple yards if I need to. So, yeah.
3rd and 1, 4th and 1. I know Coach isn't going to hesitate to say, okay, big guy, here's your you're like an offensive lineman with the ball in your hand, so that's good. Obviously, you like to throw the ball too. You're a quarterback. What kind of dynamic do you bring in that regard?
Just find the open man, find our best person to use the ball the best, and just down the field and find the best man open, and just see what we can do with the ball. Just give it to the best guy that's open, and just do our best.
I don't remember you guys throwing a whole lot last year. Is that going to change this year?
We're just going to do our game plan against the team that we have. If we don't pass the ball, we don't pass the ball. If we pass the ball a lot, it just depends on who the opponent is, and we got to prepare our best for it.
Offensively, give me a breakout player, somebody that maybe nobody knows right now, but in a few weeks, after a few games, everybody's going to know him.
Everyone has their part. There's not really a specific person on our team that can help us. Individually, it's not their way, it's our way, and we just do our best, and we have the best player on the field. And there's not one person; it's all 11 of us in the field.
Outstanding. All right. I think he's got a microphone in front of him. You can grab that one. Go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and position. Flip it up. There you go.
I'm Elijah Burns. I'm a middle linebacker, and I'm a senior this year.
Linebacker. That's Coach's bread and butter, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the standard at linebacker has to be really high at Lutheran West. How are you handling that pressure?
Yeah, there's some pressure. Just staying on my toes. Coaches keep me on my toes. Got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So it's a lot of fun. I love it.
I have to imagine with Coach's Nebraska ties and the way that he played the game, defense is a big part of that. What's the defensive practice like at Lutheran West?
Defensively, we fly around, all tilt, gas, there's no breaks. We go all game, all practice, and just fly around hitting everybody.
So there's probably no orange slices being passed out during practice for you.
Not at all.
You got to earn some things there on defensive practice. Talk about your defense. Who are the guys that you think are going to make a difference this year?
There are some key guys that we have, but it's more of just the whole unit as itself. The whole defense, we got a lot of people coming back, like you said. We lost I think our safety last year, but we still have the linebackers, our conference linebackers, the linemen. So we still have a lot of puzzles, a lot of pieces of the puzzle that are still there. So
that's a coach's dream when a player says, we got a lot of great players, but it's really playing as one. That's a coach's dream to hear something like that. That's good. Well done. What's it going to take for you guys not only to repeat as conference champions, but to maybe accomplish some other goals and make a deeper run in the postseason?
We just got to focus on ourselves. We always look at it, faceless opponents. No matter who we play, we're working on ourselves really more than trying to face somebody else. So
Saturday mornings when opponents are watching film of their previous night's game against Lutheran West, what are they going to remember?
Our defense and our team overall. We have a solid defense, solid team, special teams. We fly around. So they should remember all the hits and stuff because we fly around offensively, defensively, special teams. We fly around and get after it. So
bring in the pain.
Oh, yeah.
What are your goals for the year?
My goals are just to help the team as much as I can. My personal goals are my personal goals, but I'm more focused on the team and just trying to get us better and lead us to a deeper playoff run.
Outstanding. Good luck to you this season.
Thank you.
All right, grab that microphone in front of you, and same thing, name, grade, and positions.
My name is Jamarion Banks. I play running back for Lutheran West. I'm a sophomore.
I know last year you had a nice game out there at Independence, pretty impressive as a freshman. You had that senior running back, and I have to imagine you're going to see a few more carries now that he's gone, right?
I really don't care about the carries. We just want to win.
Coach, you got these guys trained well. What are your strengths as a running back? I mean, what do you bring to the table?
I bring I can block, I can run, and I can go off of a pass, but it really don't matter about that.
As a freshman coming out and playing varsity football at the high school level, especially on a team that was successful, probably a little bit nervous last year coming out there. How did you grow as a player from last year to this year?
How I grow as a player, I just try my best, and yeah.
Are you more confident this year thanks to that experience?
Yeah, I'm more confident. I got my seniors. They helped me bring my confidence up when I'm down. I want to thank my team for that.
Looking at the offense, again, you were pretty dynamic last year, a couple of really good running backs. You had some big offensive linemen. What do you see as the strength of that unit this year?
I feel like we got a great team. I feel like we have a lot of running backs that can run the ball, and, yeah.
You get to compete against your defense in practice. We got your buddy next to you talking that unit up. Is he exaggerating?
No, we go 100 miles per hour. We don't stop. All gas, no brakes. We hit each other and everything like that.
Love it. What are your goals for the year as a sophomore?
My goals for the year is to help the team out and play my part, and yeah.
All right, good luck to you. All right, Coach, back at you. Every coach you'll ever talk to will say, we always try to get our guys to believe in playing for each other, playing as a team. You heard it from every single one of them. How satisfying is that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's we have a great group of young men that we get a chance and bless the coach every day, and our brotherhood is one of honoring our past, playing for each other, and knowing the future is always going to be greater. We're excited about this year's team, excited about the young men we get to coach every day, and just have a great time with them, and just really enjoy our time with them, and because it's short, fame is fleeting, and we look back. Last year was last year. This year it's about improvement. It's about getting better. It's about our brotherhood growing as a group, as individuals, as young men, and enticing young men to understand that this is a great school, that it's God Family School, then football here. Football is the easiest thing we do every single day. The hardest part is everything else, growing as young men, growing as Christian men, and going after greatness in all areas of our life. And we're blessed to be part of these guys and get to coach them. Yes, it's very rewarding but very blessed.
Obviously, and you said it, last year was last year. Nobody's going to come out and say, hey, Lutheran West, here's the title again. What's it going to take for you guys to be successful in achieving that goal, just to win that, and then accomplishing some of your other goals?
You know what? The goal is to get better every day. We're big, strong, and fast. We know that. They know that, and we just got to go out and improve our play, and just every single play in practice, every single play in the game, just make sure that we're blocking the right people, we're doing the right things, and we're flying around, and the rest will take care of itself.
Outstanding. Well, glad to have you here. It was fun to watch you guys. You guys were one of the newer teams of the conference, so coming out, you've established a little bit of dominance already, and we'll see what happens this year. It should be fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks
you
for
being
having
here.
us. Thank you.
That was the Lutheran West Longhorns out here at CVC Football Media Day. They are the defending Metro Division champions. Up next, we've got their second place team, the Independence Blue Devils, coming out here. Thanks, Coach. Independence Blue Devils joining us here at CVC Football Media Day, live from Kirtland High School. Once again, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor for allowing everything we've done through CVC TV. That is Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. We'll give a shout out to them, and then we'll be joined by the Independence Blue Devils.
Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com.
Welcome back to the CVC Football Media Day, live from Kirtland High School. I am Steve Hare, the CVC Sports Information Director. As you know, if you've been watching the show, we've got 2 live streams going here from Media Day. Bill Tilton is over on our other interview station. You can watch both live at the CVC website, www.chagrinvalleyconference.com. Or you should be tuned into the second stream, which is the one I am broadcasting from, and watch Bill's later. All of our streams will be archived for on-demand viewing. Up next, we've got the Independence Blue Devils head coach Rick Adams. Coach, we just had the defending champ Lutheran West Longhorns. I know you guys had a real good game with them last year, so I know that's a game you've probably got circled on your schedule. Cuyahoga Heights was here earlier. That's another one that's always circled on your schedule. This year, it's a new year, a lot of new faces in the lineup on both sides of the ball. You graduated some really good football players that have been around for a long time, so you've got some big shoes to fill. But just go ahead and give us a little overview. What can we expect out of the squad this year? Flip that switch on the microphone. There you go.
I'd like to introduce Rory Corrigan. He's our running back, linebacker, returning 2-year starter, number 22. Then we have number 12. Luke Pascarella, he's returning as a slot receiver, and he'll be playing some linebacker this year for us. Was at a corner for us, so he's moving to backer for us. And then number 60, Ethan Serlick, is returning as a offensive lineman, and he'll be starting at nose for us this year too. So overview for us, we do have to fill some big shoes that left, but I'm really excited about the skill that we do have coming back. We have these 3 gentlemen coming back, plus we have Max Tarnowski, who's returning at receiver. We have Evan Beecher returning at the other receiver. We have Cy Jolliffe coming back at tight end. So we do have some experience coming back with the skill. With Ethan, we also have Tommy Erdman coming back at left tackle. He took over last year after the Trinity game when David Jedgers that got hurt and did a really good job for us on the line. So we do have some experience there where we have to see how things will develop. I mean, we have a new quarterback coming in, filling the shoes of Michael Tomer. So we have Dominic Narduzzi, who is a sophomore, who is a quick learner, very coachable, has done a really good job for us so far this summer and into double sessions. And we have some shoes to fill on the offensive line. So we'll see how that gels for us as the season progresses. Defensively, as I said, we have these 3 gentlemen coming back. We have Evan and Max again coming back. And Tommy will be playing some defensive line for us. That's going to be new for him. We have Rocco Ressler coming in and taking Kyle Zigmon's spot at safety. So he's done a good job for us in the secondary. I think the defense is going to be our strength this year, especially early on when we lose that week of practice. It takes a little bit longer for the offense to kind of gel, and the defense, I think, is going to be our main focus this year.
Yeah, and defensively in particular, when you look at the two key players, I mean, everyone loses and graduates players, and they're all good players, but you lost 2 4-year starters in Michael Tomer and Kyle Zigman, outstanding players, your quarterback, and then Kyle just was Mr. Everything. So defensively, a key you had last year was you guys flew to the ball, you made big plays, fumble recoveries, interceptions, and a lot of those guys that created that havoc are back. So that's good news for that defense as your offense tries to kind of find its way. And we'll talk to the guys about the offense a little bit, and I'll come back to you to kind of wrap things up. But Rory, go ahead and grab that microphone. I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself again for the folks at home. Name, grade, and positions you're going to play this year.
Hi, I'm Rory Corrigan. I'm number 22. I play running back, linebacker, I long snap, and yeah, that's about it.
And Rory paints the helmets. He drives the bus to the away games. He does a little bit of everything, just like every other sport you play. You're just kind of Mr. Everything. Wherever you need it, you do it. Like Coach said, defense is going to be the name of the game early on, and I know that crew was pretty darn good last year. What do you see out of them so far this year?
A lot of hard work. Everyone is back with a lot of fire from last year. You know, we lost that championship game, and everyone has is really mad about that. So we came back with a lot of hard work over the summer. Oh, yeah, sorry. A lot of hard work over the summer. Obviously, everyone was at workouts every day, and we're really practicing flying to the football, hitting hard, having just a lot of energy, a lot of fun.
The takeaways last year, every time I talked to Coach after a game, it was, we had, 2 interceptions, a fumble. There were always that stuff. So are you seeing that again, just guys flying to the ball, trying to make plays?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely we'll see that. Rocker Wrestler's really fast in the backfield, and then obviously you have Evan and Max at corners, and they're, unbelievable at, deflecting the pass, and everyone's rushing to the ball. So if that ball's in the air, it's ours.
Offensively, you're going to have a young quarterback. Obviously, Michael Tomer there for 4 years. You're breaking in a new guy. And then Kyle was, when Michael was down, Kyle would step in. So you basically lost 2 quarterbacks, and then Kyle's ability from whether he was in the backfield or out wide, however. So where's all that? Who's going to make up for all that lost ground there on offense?
Well, we got everyone. Like Evan and Max back at the outsides, and then Luke back at slot. Rocco and Cy are going to be, the other slots at tight end, and me in the backfield with our running game. And then we've had a couple other people get in at quarterback. Like I've been working a little bit, Luke's been working a little bit, just so we have a little bit of depth if something goes wrong, and that will be good.
And just with your center goes down, you're going to step in if Coach wants you. You're just that kind of guy. What drives that? Where you're just willing to do whatever you can for the team.
Well, I want to win, and if that has me at right tackle or left guard. I don't care. If it helps it win, I'll do it.
What kind of goals do you have for this season?
Obviously deep in the playoffs. That's always a thing for me. I want to win. It's my senior year. I don't want to have a fluke season. So I'm trying my best to get all the guys in the same mindset, right mindset of we're going to go far.
All right, good luck to you this year. You can pass that microphone to your right. Luke, go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and positions you're playing this year.
Hello, I'm Luke Pasquarella. I play linebacker, slot, and I'm going to be a senior this year.
Yep. So you're one of those guys that can do it all. Last year you were one of the guys like Kyle making big plays on both sides of the ball, whether it was catching touchdown passes, picking the ball off, doing big things. This year you're moving up from the secondary to the middle of the defense. How's that transition going?
It's been going good. I played a lot of corner growing up, and so I really knew how to play that position. But linebacker, it's a little different, but it's been easy to transferring over. So,
what's your role this year as a linebacker? What does Coach put on your shoulders?
I'm going to be playing the middle linebacker, Sam. Yeah. So. It's been tough learning everything, but I think I can handle it, and I'm going to help the team out as much as I can, playing that position where they need me to be.
For 4 years, Michael Tomer, Kyle Zigman, everybody knew their names. Give me a guy this year that you think is going to have a breakout year. Everyone's going to say, ooh, there's the new Kyle or there's the new Michael. You can name yourself if you want.
I think our team is just going to have that. We're all going to have to work together as a team to be able to win and do what we know we can do. So, yeah.
when you look at the offense, obviously with a young quarterback, what are all the veteran guys on that unit, on that side of the ball? What are they doing to help him?
Well, we have Rory, we have Ethan, we have our new quarterback coming in, and he's been working hard, and he's been doing what he can to better our team. So we have a lot of weapons. We have Evan, we have Max, we have a lot of weapons overall offensively, and we just have athletes everywhere. We just got to get them the ball, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, there's no shortage of talent, even though you're losing Michael and Kyle. There are a ton of guys that are talented football players. It's just putting it all together and getting that experience. How confident are you that you guys are going to be able to turn that around that quickly?
I'm very confident. We've been working very hard this summer to be where we need to be right now. We just need to stay focused mentally. I think that's a big part. And so, yeah.
What are your goals for senior year?
I would like to go deep in the playoffs, like Rory said. I think that we have what it takes to make it there and win games this year. We just need to be there mentally and prepare a little bit more. I think we'll be good. But goals, I mean, I just want to win. This is the last year I would like to win a lot.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Pass that on to your right, or he's got one in front of him. Ethan, go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
All right, I'm Ethan. I'm an upcoming senior. I play left guard on offense, and I am nose tackle on defense.
And here I thought you were going to say you were playing wide receiver this year. Independence has always had some big guys up front. No shortage of that here today. Who are some of the other guys that are going to join you on that offensive line?
For our offensive line at the moment, we have Tommy Ireman at left tackle. I play left guard. Beck Christ is our nose. Chase Manelski is our right tackle, and Ronan is our right tackle.
What's the plan this year with the offensive line? Are you guys, jump off the ball and plow the guy in front of you over? Are you a finesse group? You doing a lot of trapping? What's the plan?
Well, we're a bit smaller up front this year, so we're definitely focusing more on our mentalness and how well we are going to run the plays. We are a very run-focused team, I feel, this year, and definitely trying to contain the guy in front of us.
Being a younger team this year or a smaller group up front, obviously your mentality is going to have to change a little bit.
Correct.
How's that coming along?
I think it's coming along. People are starting to figure out the plays more, learn everything with what they're doing, what they're going to do. Our center, he's a pretty small guy, but he's very physical and very strong. So luckily we have that weight room ability.
Has the quarterback taken your offensive line out to lunch yet? You guys might have to, I was going to say, you might have to, teach them the right way to become the starting quarterback. You got to take care of the offensive lineman first, right?
Correct.
All right. What are you hoping to accomplish as a senior?
This year I definitely want to make division champs and go deep into the playoffs.
All right. Good luck to you this year. Coach, back to you. Fill in some blanks for us. We talked, a little offense, a little defense. Who are some of the other guys you expect to jump in? I mean, we've named a bunch of guys, and they're all, multi-sport athletes, guys that have had success in playing sports. So they're a talented group. It's just trying to get them to play as one and do the things you need them to do on a Friday night.
Yeah, another guy I think that will have a big year for us is Jack Cornick. He's coming back. He was a corner last year. We moved him to outside backer this year, so he'll be putting a lot of pressure on. Coach Shirilla likes to blitz him a lot, and Coach Shirilla has claims this is going to be his last year. He's been 37 years coaching, and we're going to see if we can maybe keep him for a few more years. But he's done a great job getting the defense ready and putting the kids. When you talk about coaches putting kids in position to be successful, Coach Shirilla really does that on the defensive end. And so, having Jack out there, I think is going to be a big key for us. Chase Manalski is another one I think will have a good year for us. He played somewhat last year outside backer for us, so he's kind of going between outside and inside backer. So I think we'll see, that aggressiveness on the defensive end. Offensively, we mentioned a lot of guys. I think on the line, I think Ronan Cheddar is stepping in at right tackle. Again, a little bit undersized, but he's really learning the offense. He's learning, what it takes to be on the varsity really quickly. So I think he'll be a very good player for us this year. And I think Dominic Narduzzi is going to have a good year for us, taking over at quarterback, as I mentioned. He's a quick learner. He is very coachable. And I think, with Rory here, we're not going to be able to I don't feel the pressure to have to throw everything at Dom, because Rory has taken a lot of snaps at quarterback also. Actually, in our scrimmage against Normandy, Rory took most of the snaps there for us. So being multi-dimensional, we'll have packages for Rory out there, which will help, I think, Dom kind of ease him into the system.
All right, and just keys to victory. What's it going to take for you to achieve all those goals that you guys have talked about, and winning that conference title, and get that sour taste out of your mouth from that unofficial conference championship game last year?
I think the big key for us is really staying together, and we've talked about a lot this year about others, playing. It's not about us. It's not about individually. We're playing for the guy next to us and playing for each other, playing for the community. So I think taking that to heart is going to take us pretty far. Having that mentality, obviously staying healthy. Being Division VI, we don't have a ton of numbers, so every year it's keeping everybody healthy as much as we can to go out there and be as physical as we can. So trying to manage that in practice, to have physical practices, but not go too much where kids are going to get hurt, and keep them ready for Friday night, so we can be at our best.
All right, well, I'm going to get to see you guys in week 1. It took me to week 3 last year to see you, so this year I'm starting out with you guys Friday night, Columbia, so looking forward to that. Appreciate you making the trip out here to Kirtland, and we'll see you on Friday.
Thanks,
Steve.
All right, that was the Independence Blue Devils here at CVC Football Media Day. Up next, we have the Kirtland Hornets, your defending state runners-up. I have to take a quick break. I will be back here in just a couple of minutes. We'll let the Hornets settle in, and then I will return and we'll kick off their interview here, the Chagrin Division defending champions. Welcome back to Kirtland High School for the 2022 CVC Football Media Day. I am Steve Hare, the CVC Sports Information Director. Up next, we have the defending Division 5 state runners-up, the Kirtland Hornets. Titletown here in Kirtland, hosting our CVC Football Media Day. We're going to get right into it with the Hornets. Coach, I'm going to let you, Tiger Laverty is not with us here today, so I'm going to let Coach introduce himself and then just give us an overview of what we can expect out of the Hornets this year. Flip that little black switch on your microphone up. There you go.
All right. Hey, I'm Coach Eric Ziegler. I actually played for Coach Laverty's first squad in 2006. So I was his quarterback. I have with me GP3, our left guard. Sorry. Adam Knack, our tight end, and Tommy Goglin, our running back and defensive back. So our outlook for the year is it's bright. We're excited to get into the season and start start our CVC trek, and then make our way, hopefully, into the postseason.
I got to see you out at your scrimmage out there at North, and looked like Kirtland was up to its old tricks, just running the ball all over everybody, playing stingy defense, and doing things really, really well. And I have to imagine that's just always the game plan.
Yeah, we like to run the ball and we like to block. Coach Laverde says one person can touch or handle the ball, and the other 10 have to block, and we're pretty good at it. So those guys block, and they share the ball too, and it's fun coaching them every day. I enjoy going to practice and having some laughs with these guys. They're all great kids, and it's just a fun atmosphere. Winning helps, you know. It's been a lot of fun winning.
Yes.
But we want, the last game, they'll let you know it put a bad taste in our mouth, and we're ready to get back at it.
I've been covering Kirtland now for, almost 12 years, and I talk to the players all the time, and, they can tell me what kind of coach Tiger Laverde is, and this is really one of the rare occurrences where I can ask a current coach what Tiger Laverde was as a coach and how different he is now that you're a coach. So you played for him many years ago, his first year at Kirtland, and now you're coaching with him, as one of his assistant coaches. What was that like? I mean, just to go from being a player his first year here, and how different is he now that he's been around for what seems like forever, but it's been a quick 16.
Yeah, so it's funny. I actually was just at his house yesterday. He is turning 50 years old. He doesn't want anyone to know that.
Nobody's watching, so Tiger, you're good.
So I got to experience Tiger at 33. So first off, my junior year going into my senior year, we didn't have the best year. I actually started at quarterback as a sophomore, and then my junior year under Dan Kukura. And then midway through the springtime, Coach Kukura said he was not going to continue with us, and they started a search for the coach. At that time, we wanted we had some candidates out there, some guys we knew as players. Victor Ricketts was one of them. Coach Ricketts, he was at Aurora at the time. He put his name in the hat, and then we hear this name Tiger just keep on coming, and Tiger this, Tiger that, and sure enough, he is our head coach, and comes to Kirtland in June, and it's just complete. We didn't have an off season with him. I remember our first get together. We're in the high school gym, and we're he learned like back then you couldn't use footballs. It was only like 5 times a summer. So we're playing in the gym with trash cans and dodgeballs. And we're just like, what is going on? Who is this guy? He's this young and energetic guy. And then after that season, we had 11 weeks with him. We had 8 seniors. We made it to the playoffs. Beat a tough Gilmore squad that we won our conference, the CVC Valley, which we hadn't done in forever, hadn't gone to the playoffs in forever. And then after that, our playoff loss, I was sitting talking to my buddy Dan Brown, who played linebacker, and I said, this guy is something special. We have something here that is just rare with this, this young coach that you'd run through a wall for. He was that likable. And looking back now 17 years, I've had the pleasure of coaching with him for 5. It's just been so much fun to, see him through the town and grow up and, raise my family now in Kirtland. When I was a young kid, I was, a student football player. Now to see the other side of it and these kids growing up, it's just a blast. And I'm glad he allows me to be a part of it and a coach. So.
And just the culture that has been created around here and the way it's trickled down to every other sport. And we talked about it in the other media days, just how, the girls' soccer team, once you start to see your classmates go on to have success, you start to believe that, wow, I know that kid and they just won a state title. I can do that too. And you're starting to see that, and it's permeating every sport at Kirtland and just the culture in this community, and it's fun to watch.
And I bet these guys can speak to it. I mean, their classmates are the ones who, you see through the halls. And when these kids are walking by, it's like to me and the younger kids, they're like, superstars. So it's a lot of fun. the atmosphere in the school, the winning. It's a nice tradition that they've started.
Yeah, the winning speaks for itself, but if you hang around Kirtland long enough, you're going to realize it's more than just winning. And when you meet the coaches and you talk to the players and you get to know these kids, I'm around here a lot. Like I said, I've covered Kirtland for 12 years. I cover golf, I cover tennis, I cover everything. So it's not just football, but when you see these kids, they're not walking with their chest pumped out, and they're just good kids. They get along with each other. They do things the right way, and it all pays off. And that's why we're, where we are today, talking about, all the state titles and the success and the expectations and all that. So, Coach, I appreciate that. That's good insight there, just from a unique perspective. But, George, go ahead and grab that mic. We'll start with the players, and we'll talk some football. George, go ahead and introduce yourself for the folks at home. Name, grade, and positions you play.
I'm George Prusak. I play offensive line, defensive line, better known as GP3.
GP3. George, obviously, Kirtland football, you've played through the system all the way up, coming up as a young kid. So when they started winning state titles, you were one of those little guys. Your mom's the trainer, so you've been around a long time watching this. And now it's your time. You're coming into your senior year. What's it been like coming up, and what are you feeling now heading into that senior year?
Well, I mean, it's been really fun. I mean, playing for Coach Laverde is something special. I mean, he's a great guy on and off the field. He does so much for us on and off the field, and he makes it easy for us. I mean, you're starting in youth football. I mean, I've played with his son for all 13 years of my football career, so that kind of makes it easy when you're coming up to high school because he kind of knows who you are and he gives you those opportunities. But, I mean, yeah, I'm excited. I mean, me and my friends since freshman year have been talking about being seniors together and what we can accomplish, so I'm excited for this year.
I'm not too ashamed to say that I was wrong, but there were, I don't know, it might have been 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. There was a year where I said, you know what? They just won the state title. Next year, I think that's it. They might get to the regional final, but I think that run might be over. They were graduating such a huge class of seniors. Most of the skill guys were going. Most of the offensive and defensive linemen. I said, that's going to have to be it. I mean, all their good guys are gone. They're going to be young. They're going to come in. You guys didn't skip a beat. I think that was when you went in and started. I think you won 3 or 4 in a row, and that's when now I just can't believe anything other than this culture has just permeated success for however long it goes. And so I won't doubt you. But going into this year, how do you feel about this team?
I feel great about what we can accomplish this year. I mean, this offseason we've built a really good chemistry with everybody on the team, and I just feel like if we keep that chemistry going throughout the year, we could really do something special. In our scrimmages, everybody's getting each other up, everybody's celebrating with each other. It's just great that all 11 guys on the field are close to each other and can celebrate each other.
The names change, the numbers change, but whoever steps in seems to have success. So last year there was a quarterback a battle. Ramon ends up winning it and leads you to a state championship game. This year there's kind of a quarterback battle. You got 2 guys fighting it out. Whoever wins it is going to have some expectations. You're that guy in front of them, the offensive lineman. What's it going to take to get whoever wins that quarterback battle just to get that confidence needed to lead the team this year?
Just for whoever's playing that quarterback position to trust their offense line, trust us. I mean, if we get our job done, I mean, they should have no problem throwing the ball and sitting back there. I mean, usually we gain trust from our quarterback, and if that quarterback gains that trust, we could really show them. They could really show their full potential if they just trust us.
Kirtland's strength has obviously been some really good skill guys, but up front, it doesn't matter if they were big offensive linemen or small offensive linemen, they've just been able to get the job done. Do you see that out of your crew this year?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely not the biggest as there's been in the past, but I mean, yeah, I mean, coming back, we have my close friend Joe Picard playing next to me at tackle. Matthew Cayley's going to play on the offense line, and then we got 2 new guys coming in. I think that it might take us a couple weeks to maybe get some kinks out, but I think once we get to that midseason mark, we'll be rolling just fine.
What do you see as this team's strength? Every team has one. What do you see as Kirtland's strength in 2022?
That's a tough one. I mean, we built a really solid squad, so I think just the fact that this year we've come closer together. We saw what happened last year, and maybe we weren't the closest team last year as we should have been, so we kind of took that to heart as kind of like we need to build this chemistry, and I think our chemistry is probably going to be our biggest factor this year.
Give me if this happens, Kirtland can win the state title.
That is a very difficult question. I mean, it's just kind of just gotta take it week by week. If we take things week by week and not look ahead, I mean, we'll be just fine because we got some pretty tough teams on the schedule. We got Perry and West G, which are two teams that are very good. Even Lutheran West is a very good football team. So take it week by week and just play your opponent in front of you.
Outstanding. Good luck to you this year. You can pass that mic over to Adam. Adam, go ahead and same thing. Introduce yourself, name, grade, and what positions you're playing this year.
I'm Adam. I'm a tight end, and I'm going to be a senior this year.
Adam, a tight end in the Kirtland offense, is basically an extra offensive lineman. Every once in a while, you might sneak away and catch a pass, but how are you accepting that role?
I love it. I love being out there. I love blocking, as Coach said earlier. It's one of my favorite things to do out on the football field, and being next to guys that I love working with, George and Joe, as he mentioned. It's awesome.
The thing is, I just called you an extra offensive lineman, but you've got the athletic ability when you get the ball in your hands. I mean, you're kind of like a Ratosa going back a few years. You have the ability to take it to the house. I mean, I have to imagine, and again, don't give away any secrets, but I have to imagine there's a play or two in the playbook that has your name on it.
I mean, there's a few.
Tiger always says he runs 5 plays, so there can't be a few, but
yeah.
we know what you mean.
Yeah, I know. It's just, that's a good question. It's just, there's going to be plays. Everyone's going to get the ball. We have a lot of skill on this team this year, and even if I'm not the one that's going to be out there getting all the catches, I know that my teammates around me, they could do their job and get it done. We have a great team this year.
I think that's been one of the key elements of this culture that Kirtland has developed, is that, like you just said, it doesn't matter if you get the catches or if somebody else does. And the one I'm always going to refer to is Joey Torak. Joey Torak came a few yards up short of the school rushing record, and I asked him about it. And he held up his hand and he said, you know what, that school rushing record would have been nice, but these 4 rings are much better. And so that right there just tells me why Kirtland has been successful, because Joey Torak, he didn't play but the first half of, most of the games of his entire career. So that school rushing record is his. I mean, had he played in the third quarter of any of those games, 1 or 2 more carries, and he's your school rushing record. But he never complained because he held up that hand with 4 rings on and said that's what really matters. So what's it going to take for this team to, only one team will finish with a win. What's it going to take for Kirtland to be that team?
I mean, just trusting our coaches, trusting everyone that's in this organization. We just trust what coach is doing is right, staying in the weight room, being healthy, getting stronger throughout the year. Just, I guess, trust.
It seems there's always somebody that, they didn't get their chance last year because somebody better was in front of them, and then they step into a role the next year and they break out. Who's it going to be this year? I feel like I'm stumping you a couple times here.
Probably McGuire Boyd. He had an early injury last year, and this year he is crazy. He's very strong, big back. You'll see a lot of him. You'll be interviewing him a lot.
And that was Jacob Boyd's younger brother, and I interviewed Jacob a lot. So if he's anything like his brother, you're right. So, yeah. All right, good luck to you this year, Adam.
Thank you.
Tommy, go ahead and grab that mic and do the same thing. Name, grade, and position.
My name's Tommy Goglin. I'm going to be a senior, and I play running back in DB.
Tommy, every year, going back to, Sam Kukura, Adam Hess, a couple years before that, it doesn't matter if the names change. The running backs just come in and they just keep performing. You got a lot of carries last year, but you were still like the third or fourth guy, and this year you're going to get a lot more carries, and there's going to be other guys that step in. How is that group looking this year, the running back crew?
I think we're looking really strong. Like you said, we got a lot of guys that can run and make guys miss, perform, score touchdowns, everything, catch the ball. Seriously, like 3 or 4 guys that can put on the ground and make some things happen in the running game, passing game. So
that's been a key to the offense. Is It's not just one guy. So, and everyone that's in that running back room has to be able to say, you know what, I'm not going to be the guy. I may get the most carries, but I'm not the guy because we're all the guy. And how key is it that everybody accepts that role, that, maybe today you get more carries, next week I'm going to get more carries? How key is that?
I think, like you're saying, it's a collective effort, and then everybody has to accept that's just how it is. I mean, we're all cheering each other on. We're all celebrating together in the end zone. And I think it helps a lot when we're all really close together. But, like, good friends, everybody on the team, all the backs, me, Phil, Rocco, Gino, we're all good friends. So I think it helps a lot. So
Kirtland's legacy and culture speaks for itself. Last year's seniors almost did it. They almost won 4 state titles. They ended up winning 3, but they played in 4 state championship games. You guys have the ability to match that. How important is that to you, or does it not matter? You just want to win one again. It doesn't matter if it's the 3rd, 2nd, 1st.
I don't think it matters as much to us as long as we're out there having fun with our buddies and putting our best foot forward and working as hard as possible. So I think that's really all that matters to us this year.
We didn't talk too much about the defense. I did, after seeing you in the scrimmage, it's Kirtland football. It's going to be a grind. It's going to be tough to score on Kirtland. I know Ridgedale or Ridgewood.
Ridgewood.
Yeah. Ridgewood. I can never remember that, but I know they hit a couple of big plays as they do. That's what they're going to hit some big pass plays, but it's tough to stop them all. But it looked like you guys are same type of team. You're going to stop the run and take your chances in the pass game. Is that pretty accurate?
Like you're saying, yep. I think we got a strong secondary. Everybody up front, it's gritty. We're not the biggest. We're pretty strong, but it's gritty. So I think a lot of the guys, David Patel. He's gonna be a great guy up front, making plays. Phil's obviously coming back. He's gonna make some plays in middle linebacker, and a couple other guys in the secondary. I think we're gonna make plays. Just having fun together, flying around out there.
Give me your breakout player. Who you think's going to have a big year?
I think it's going to be Rocco Alfieri. He's starting on both sides of the ball this year, running the ball hard, playing good defense. I think he's going to have an opportunity.
That's just another thing about Kirtland is, I ask these guys names, and it's always, so-and-so's younger brothers. That's one thing. It's just passed down from generation to generation, and it's been fun to watch. It's been great to be around the athletic program as a whole here. The success speaks for itself, but coming out, seeing the kids, hearing you guys talk, hearing the coaches reminisce about their playing days, it makes sense why the success has been the way it has. So good luck to you guys this year. It's always tough. It's easy to say, hey, we'll see you in the state championship game, but people don't realize how hard it is to get there. And that 5 weeks, and now it's 6 weeks in the playoffs, it's tough every week. And you guys have had some really good playoff games over the last couple of years. Those are fun. So hopefully we'll get a bunch of them this fall. I appreciate you guys making the trip out here. A long trip to Kirtland High School. So good luck to you this season. All right, that was the Kirtland Hornets here at the CVC Football Media Day. Up next, we've got a special guest joining us, CVC Commissioner Don Lewis. Going to take a moment here to kind of talk about all the comings and goings of our conference. Look at that, he brought me an extra prop. I have one of those at home I could have brought. All right, Commissioner Lewis, grab a mic. Make sure your black button is in the on position. That is up.
Yeah, we're good to go.
Great to see you, Don. I appreciate you being here. The CVC, it's just one thing after another. Every day it seems like something better is happening for the conference. We're doing so many great things here. And, so here we are, Football Media Day. You have... Obviously, we just got done with Kirtland. They've been winning state titles. We've got a lot of teams that have been in the playoffs, all that fun stuff. Chagrin Falls girls soccer team won the state title. Our swim teams, our cross-country runners, tennis teams. We've got so many. Ella Wong at Hawken winning the state golf title. It's a fun conference to be a part of.
It's yours. Don't forget Richmond Heights in basketball.
Oh, absolutely. And there's many more that I haven't mentioned. That
it's funny as you're seeing
wrestlers and,
right.
Yeah, a whole bunch of them.
You're naming them off, and I'm thinking, I don't remember all those.
Beechwood didn't show up. Do you want me to take one of these two that are waiting to talk to you?
Sure.
Is that all right?
Yep.
You know who first, Wickliffe or Hawken?
You can take Hawkins, my last one, so I'll take Wickliffe next. Okay, sorry about that. We have stream number 1 had a no-show, so we're just trying to fill in over there. But back to Don. And let's talk about the news that just broke recently that the CVC kind of took a forefront position in rectifying with the officials. First and foremost, the officials are underpaid. I mean, what they have to put up with, especially in today's climate, it's tough, and they are underpaid. So that was long overdue. And just to see the CVC be a forefront in kind of getting that situation alleviated, what went into all of that?
It was a wild 6 weeks, Steve. It really was. It was, and you know, as I say to people, I wear 3 hats. I had three kids that were interscholastic athletes in the Chagrin Valley Conference. So I wore the hat of a parent, so I understood the feelings of how the kids were feeling. I was a longtime official in basketball, and so I wore my official's hat, and of course, as being commissioner of the league, I could see the inner workings of a league. So I could see all sides of the spectrum, and I really felt that, yes, the officials need to be compensated, especially with gas at that point, $5 a gallon. But the bottom line really is, what are we doing this for? What do we officiate for? What do we have a league for? We do it for the kids. It's not just the players. It's the band. It's the cheerleaders. It's the kids that are working the concession stands to raise money for their different projects. So, bottom line is, when we got involved in this, and you're right, if we hadn't taken the lead from the Chagrin Valley Conference, there may not have been football next Friday night. I have to put out props to Ryan Peters, vice president of our conference. Really was a driving force along with me, and the 2 people from the Cleveland Football Officials Association, Rocky Neal and Brian Crummy. The 4 of us sat down and we talked virtually every day, 2, 3, 4 times a day, trying to come up with something that was equal to both of us, and both the officials and the conferences and the kids could all live with it. And we did. We came up with a nice compromise. They demanded at first, and if they made any mistake, I'd say it's because they went to the media. But they demanded $100 a game, which probably was not going to happen because they were at 70 to begin with. And so we compromised. So this year they'll be at 80, which I think is very fair. And the next 2 years they'll be at 90. And then the following 2 years will be at $100 a game. Being an official, I can tell you there are games you couldn't pay me enough to do those games. And there are other games that I would have paid to do the game. So it's an interesting, officiating is a sport. It's a competition with yourself to be the best you can be. And I usually tell young officials, if you're doing it for the money, you're in the wrong profession. Do it because you love the game, you love the kids, you love the atmosphere, and that's what you do it for. So it was a wild 6 weeks of negotiations, that's for sure.
Right, and still, even at $100, they're underpaid. And when you think about it, when you talk about the time they drive from their house to the game, the time they spend preparing, pre-game, and then the actual game, you're $12 an hour, $13 an hour to run up and down a field. It's hard work, and then you factor in the external, the parents that yell and scream at you, and the violence that we're seeing across the nation. It's not a job anyone wants anymore, and we need to compensate them, but we also need to take care of them when they're on the field, and our administrators need to step up and quiet the parents down a little bit and take care of that so that we can grow the officiating base again, because that's another issue we're going to have to address here soon. I see on Twitter games already from across the nation are being canceled and rescheduled for Saturday nights because they have shortages of officials, and we've seen that here already. And last year, soccer season, there were a lot of games that had 2 officials instead of 3. We're going to see that again this year, and so that's another issue that we have to address, and maybe the CVC can get involved there too. But
we're already involved in it, Steve. The CVC is an unbelievable conference. We're at 25 teams starting next year. We're bringing in 3 new teams to take us to 25, which represents 5 counties, 5 Northeast Ohio counties, and we have probably about 50,000 kids in those schools. So it's K to 12. So it's a large, it's the second largest conference in the state of Ohio. We really feel that we're leaders in Ohio. We have seminars on mental seminars. We have workshops on mental health, inclusion, equity, inclusion. We do robotics competitions. I mean, we really do lots of things, and we're spreading down into the middle school with spelling bees this year. We have a youth football program through the Cleveland Browns. We've gathered corporate sponsorship to help support these programs. So we're really leading, and of course, as you know, because you're the main guy, what you do for the league through your sports information director's position, I think that's the title I gave you.
That's it.
CVC TV and all the interviews and everything. I mean, we really put out a lot of effort for the kids in the CVC. And so we're getting calls from other conferences across the state. How are you guys doing this? And there is a method in our madness. There's that's for sure. But we've met with different groups. We've gone to local colleges, tried to recruit officials. We're working with the OHSAA to see if we can get officials involved. Basically, young people don't want to do it, and unfortunately, that's when you need to get involved in. Is when you're young. They'd rather sit at home and play their video games and not run up and down the court or be in a football field and get yelled at by a parent.
Yep. And you're at the games and you hear what they say. They're like, oh, look at that old guy. He can't even keep up. Well, if you want younger people, maybe start treating the officials a little bit better. And
I can actually say it. I just got off the court a couple years ago, and when I got off the court, I was probably one of the oldest guys run up and down the court. And if I heard that, I'd say, these kids are telling me to slow down.
So, every time I talk about the league and what we do, I say we have a commissioner who doesn't say no. And the next idea I give you that you say no to will be the first, because you want this conference to grow. You want it to be a leader in everything we do. And so CVC TV, these media days and other things, and the other things that you have brought to the conference and the things we do, and it's only getting better. We're adding teams, and as those teams come in, we're going to be able to do a little bit more. And we still have more ideas that we're just kind of putting out there. So there's more to come.
We're scratching the surface. As a matter of fact, on Tuesday morning, we're meeting with the Mid-American Conference to talk about doing some teamwork with the conference through Kent State, Akron, Bowling Green, Toledo, to have them be involved in the Chagrin Valley Conference at some level. But, I'd say as we sit here and talk, I'm looking across the table here, and I can tell you, you're an amazing guy. I mean, you're right. I say go for it. Let's do it. I'd rather ask forgiveness or permission. But, for instance, CVC TV, that's a classic. You and I talked about CVC TV almost from the get-go. And little did we know that COVID was going to hit. And, man, we were right on it. I mean, you and your crews go out on Friday nights, and most people don't realize that you do football, you do volleyball, you do soccer, you do basketball, boys and girls basketball. You get to as many events as you can. And, I open up the website all the time and see the information that you put out there. And it's amazing. The other thing is, there's no time I call you don't answer the phone. I call you sometimes just to see if you answer the phone. I really don't have anything to say.
I try. But you said it earlier, why about the officials. Why are we really doing this? Well, we're doing it for the kids, and that's why I do it. And
it's all about the kids.
I enjoy it. And every year it's a new crop of kids, and it just inspires you to keep going. And, so my little contribution to society is coming out here and giving kids an opportunity to shine. And, they take care of the athletic part. I just come here and give them an opportunity to tell their story. And
there's, as there's a lot of great stories out there.
Absolutely.
And, somebody asked me, why do you want to be the commissioner of Chagrin Valley Conference? Because I want to. My day job as an oral surgeon takes up most of my time, but, I'm always on the phone. I'm always calling people in between patients. I'm doing something, and why? It's because it puts a smile on my face. And at this point, that's exactly what I want to do. To be around young people keeps you young, is why I look at it.
Absolutely. There are worse ways to make a living.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well,
You're assuming they pay me.
Well, I meant from my regard.
Okay, I pay you.
Yes. So I could be digging ditches and maybe making more money, but I don't want to dig ditches. And just doing what I do it makes me happy.
You do a great job, Steve.
I'm passionate about it. But I appreciate you being here, Don, and looking forward to a new school year.
It's a great year. I'm sure we'll bump you on the sidelines or up on CVC TV or somewhere. I laugh because I walk into the gym and I look in the corner and they'll be sitting on the floor with your camera taking notes or something. It's just amazing.
I'm always there.
You are always
somewhere.
There. We appreciate it.
All right, Don. I appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Steve. Great job, bud.
Thank you.
As always.
That was CVC Commissioner Don Lewis out here at the CVC Football Media Day live from Kirtland High School. We did have a schedule note I want to change. If you were looking for the Wickliffe Blue Devils, they were up next. They actually just sat through an interview on stream number 1. So if you're on the CVC website, you can go right there to stream number 1, and just rewind a little bit. You'll get to watch the Wickliffe Blue Devils. We did have a no-show, so we wanted to get our guys in and out, so Wickliffe went over there to stream number 1. And next up, we have the Hawken Hawks, and following them, we're going to change gears a little bit, and we're going to give the Cardinal Volleyball team an opportunity. They weren't able to make it to one of our previous media days, so we're going to let them slide in here just to give them an opportunity to talk about their season. But up first, we've got the Hawken Hawks and this new head coach. I don't know that he's very familiar with the Chagrin Valley Conference or not, but we'll find out in a moment. Hawken, really dangerous team last year, had an exciting year, finished 5-6. But if there's a team you didn't want to game plan against, it was Hawken. They were so dangerous. So looking forward to hear what they're going to bring under new head coach Mark Iamarino this year. Coach, after you left the sideline to Chagrin Falls, we thought maybe I'd see you on the sidelines watching some games somewhere. Little did I know you'd be back on the sidelines coaching. First off, great to see you back on the sideline. What brought you there?
Well, I think just the opportunity at a place like Hawken, presented itself, and the more that I talked with people there, everybody from the administration down, the community, so very, very excited, making a concerted effort to follow in the footsteps of Cliff Walton and all of the glory days that Hawken has experienced, and allocating resources necessary to allow that to happen. And it just was really exciting for me to get back into that. And I just felt like I wasn't specifically looking for it, but it just was the right fit at the right time for me. And every interaction I've had with anybody within the school community has been very, very positive. So we're really excited to get things going here.
The black shirt looks normal, but it's weird seeing the red and gray on you. That's going to take some getting used to, but like I said, it's great.
I kind of like it. I like it. I like it a lot.
It's definitely great to have you back in the league. It's some schools may go forever without having a generational type of coach, and you just mentioned Cliff Walton, and now you can add Mark Iamarino to there, and we'll see what kind of success you can bring to the school. But it's great for the kids to have a coach of your ability out there, especially with the talent that they bring back, and it's going to be really interesting to see what you guys can do. We're going to talk about that after we talk to the guys. I want to hear their perspective first, but then we'll come back to you and see what you had to say with following your players. So guys, go ahead and grab that microphone. I'm going to give you a chance. Introduce yourself, name, grade, and what position you play.
I am Chris Shea. I am the class of 2023. I'm a senior, and I play linebacker and O-line.
Chris, last year, like I said, you guys had I think you were 5-6, so right around 500, but you were a very dangerous team because of all the talent you had, the big playmakers. What can we expect this year?
Well, I think you can expect the same sort of big plays and big playmakers. We always say the term big-time players show up in big-time moments, and I think that holds true for a lot of our guys. A lot of our guys really know how to come through in not just big moments only, but throughout the game consistently. And I think consistency, it should be the biggest thing you should expect out of our team this year. Just a overall team that is really tight-knit, really close together, and feeds off of each other's energy. So
I know you graduated some of those big-time playmakers, but you have plenty of them coming back. So some big shoes to fill. Who are some of the guys you think are going to step up and have a big year?
Well, I think talking about my position group on defense especially, our linebacker crew is really exceptional this year. Luke Mangini, Paxton Lassinger, and Ben Reitman are three guys that play linebacker alongside me, and I really can count on all those guys equally, and they all can make plays individually and have just been really exceptional this summer and coming up to the beginning of the season here. So
coaching changes can be kind of hard because you're learning new systems, things like that, a new style of coaching. How has that process gone?
Well, I think it's gone pretty smoothly. I mean, I really do trust and like our coaching staff, and I think if we as a team buy into what they are preaching and buy into what schemes they're showing us and giving us every certain week, I think the results will show for themselves if we buy into what the coaching staff is telling us to do. So,
from your perspective, what's the key to success this year? What's it going to take for Hawken to flip that script, have that winning year, make a deep postseason run?
Well, I feel like we are just at the point where we can get to the top of that hill. We're on the climb, and I think we need to be more physical, and we need to just, again, be consistent throughout the game and show that we can do it all 4 quarters and make a complete game every week. I think that would be the pieces that would put us over the edge. So,
any individual goals for yourself this year?
Well, last year I had over 100 tackles, and I'd like to be there again for myself. And I really want to help on the offensive side of the ball, especially, help all the guys out and really be exceptional on that side of the ball as well. I know I've only been talking about defense, but offensively it's very important as well to keep the all my years at Hawken, we've had a really exceptional offense, and we scored a lot of points, and I don't want that to slow down at all. So,
outstanding. Good luck to you this year.
Thank you.
Pass that mic to your right, and same thing, name, grade, and position.
Dominic Johnson. I'm going to be a senior, running back, DB.
Dominic, you were one of those big-time playmakers last year, explosive anytime you had the ball in your hands. You lose some of the other guys, so bigger role for you in store, I assume?
Oh, definitely. Bigger role as a player and as a leader on the team. As you see, I'm wearing number 1, not number 20. Number 1 is a big part of Hawken tradition for us, and I wanted to take that on and be sort of a leader for these guys that are having to take bigger roles this year, and just helping them make it easier for them and be smoother so we can keep the path that we're going on.
Chris talked about the offense. He doesn't want to see that slow down at all. Is the offense similar to what you guys ran last year under your new coach?
Yes, there's differences, but there's a lot of similarities as far as we're going to find a way to win. We're going to find a way to score each week, and nothing changes. And the way that we have this new playbook, I feel that we're going to do it.
Every year there's going to be guys that, get their first varsity action, but they have breakthrough campaigns. You see anybody on the roster this year that you might say, yep, that's the guy?
Tackle Jackson Hadeen. Slot / DB Jordan Johnson, my brother. We have Julian Joveris, DB, wide receiver, Lucas Brandt. And lastly, I will give it to Ryan Whiting.
Looking at last year, you guys lost some close games. What's going to be different this year that's going to help you win those close games?
Like you said, we are a very explosive offensive team, and it's came down to defense. This year we have Coach K. He's fired up about defense. We're not going to allow the amount of points we did last year, and that's why we're going to win games.
That's going to be the key. All right. Let's pass that on over and go ahead and introduce yourself. Name, grade, and position.
Lucas Brandt, junior and quarterback and defensive back.
Lucas, first off, you're coming off a great baseball season. I remember talking to you on the phone after a no-hitter, just big game for you. And how does that transfer over to baseball? I don't mean the skill set, but the mindset. Just what are you bringing from that success you had in baseball to football?
Well, anytime that you can go compete against high-quality opponents and at a high level, I think you're going to be stronger mentally because of that. So I can definitely carry that over. And as well as being on a team that was so successful with a great group of senior leaders, I got the chance to watch them and see how they led the team and see what a winning culture around a team is, try and take that and bring some of it to our team.
What's different about this team from last year? Obviously, coaching change, some new faces in the lineup, that type of thing. But from a mentality aspect, a teamwork perspective, what do you see as being the big difference this year?
Well, there's a few differences, but I would say the main one is just our commitment to coming together as a team, and especially on the defensive side of the ball, coming down to hitting. We're going to be 100% be a more physical team this year than we were last year. I see no doubt in that in my mind.
Do you agree with your teammate there that defense is going to be the big difference?
Yeah, I would. I think defense wins championships.
Was that just a mentality thing, a scheme thing? What was it?
I think it's more of a mentality than anything else, just wanting to hit, taking pride in keeping teams off the board rather than just scoring. Not that we didn't focus on that at all last year. We did, but I think it's being more of an emphasis this season.
And then looking at your season, what kind of goals do you have set for yourself?
I just want to win. We have 3 goals set for us as a team, and that's to come together as a team, to win the CVC, and to make the playoffs. And that's really all I'm focused on at this point.
All right, sounds good. Let's get that mic over to your right. Introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
I'm Tyler Gibson. I'm senior, and I play O-line and D-line.
Like having the big fellas up here. So, I've said it probably 5-6 times today. It's a cliche, but it's like the most true cliche ever. You're going to win games up front, and it's going to take a great effort from both lines. How confident are you that you and your teammates are ready for that challenge?
I'm pretty confident, yeah, because we got a lot of good guys, good talent, a lot of kids who like to work hard and put in that extra effort to finish through the line, push people off. I think that this year our line is going to be pretty good up front.
Offensively, last year, the success you guys had obviously speaks to some success up front. Defensively, how much of a challenge has it been just to say, okay, we're changing things defensively, we've got this new mindset, more is expected of us up front. How are you guys handling that challenge?
We're handling it pretty well. I think this change is actually for the better, because I feel like with our current mentality up front on the line, our mentality is that we're in the trenches, we're pushing the line of scrimmage, we're pushing it back, and we're just trying to be aggressive and violent up front, which is a lot more than we were last year. So I think that overall that this change in mentality and just general scheme is a really good thing.
All season long, we're going to get to hear about your quarterbacks, your wide receivers and running backs, the guys that are picking passes off and making tackles. The big guys up front, we're not going to hear their names too often because we don't list the number of pancake blocks in the box scores. So give me the names. Give me some guys that you think are going to have a big year for Hawken and represent well.
I think personally, Jackson Adine, definitely. Manon, Reyna. He's had we've had a couple scrimmages. He's made some really good blocks and plays in general. Louis, can't wait to see him back. He's also one of the bigger guys up front, and when he plays well, he plays really well. So, yeah, I think that's going to be our big playmakers on the line this year.
From your perspective, what's it going to take to consider this year a successful season?
For me personally, I think it's a matter of pushing people, dominating the line and making sure that changing that mindset of whenever someone looks at Hawken's line, they don't say, hey, look, it's going to be like a rest week for us because this line isn't good. I want to change that personally, and my goal is for when people see Hawken's linemen, I want them to say, oh, that's really scary, and I'm dreading going up against that line because they're going to punch me really hard and it's going to hurt a lot.
I love it. All right, I wish you all a whole lot of success this season. Coach, back to you. You've gotten to see these guys now in practice, and you get to see what they can do on the field. Now you got a little glimpse inside their head and where they're at heading into week one. How confident are you that things are going the way you need them to have some success this year?
When I first took the job, I had an opportunity to sit down with a couple of the guys and just talk about not only football, but get to know them a little bit, have them get to know me. And I told them, I said, changes can be difficult. Change is not normally a part of everybody's life, and so it's a transition time. But I said change can be also very positive. Everybody gets a fresh start, a new opportunity. Sometimes you get a different set of eyes that might look at something that hasn't been seen before. And all I asked for them is to be receptive to it, take the coaching, and go with it. And they truly, truly have done that because, as you can hear from them, they want to win. That's step number one. The individual accolades, those will come, and I don't think that they're focused on that at all. They want to win on Friday nights. They want to develop a program that the school and the community can be proud of. We had a great day yesterday. We had a alumni picnic, and we celebrated not only the varsity football team but the youth programs, middle school, the rookie tackle, flag football teams. So they understand the situation that they're in. That people are looking up to them and are excited for them, and so they have put the work in necessary. And it's an ongoing process. And I told them, I said, we had a couple of scrimmages, and we haven't even had the first day of school yet. So it's a long road, and there are going to be bumps along the road. But if you are committed to the plan and what we're doing, then you're going to be able, as a group, to come together to overcome any of those obstacles and work week to week, because there are things that are going to challenge us as we go forward. But their attitude, their focus has been really, really appreciated, and I think it's going to pay dividends.
Obviously, the guys talked about some team goals you have.
Right.
You may hit them, you may not, but how are you going to define success? I mean, you may win a state title and still say, you know what, we didn't accomplish the things we needed to. You may go 0-10 and say, you know what, we didn't win any games, but we really did a lot of good things. To you, what's it going to take?
So as Dominic mentioned, we have 3 goals, and it's kind of like a subscript for us, and that is Team CVC in November. And team is the most important. And what that means is we come together as a group, and we understand and set the stage as to what are the expectations to play football at Hawken and what are the requirements necessary. We are expanding to make sure that we play JV games every Saturday, so those younger guys get an opportunity to play, to grow, and develop, and that we embrace the younger youth programs as well. So we really want to come together as a team, a lot of team bonding activities. One of the things that, being a public school guy for so long, all of my players came from the same zip code. Well, what I really enjoy here is the diversity of where kids are coming from. And so they can learn more about themselves because they grew up in different neighborhoods. And I think that's really, really key, is that, it's a mini lab for life in the future. You learn more about people. You learn how to interact with them. You learn how to coexist. And if you have a common goal, then you're going to focus towards that. And so it's great to be able to see that, but it is a process. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. And so we have to arm ourselves with all of the necessary requirements to meet those expectations. So that's most important. And I said, if you do that, then the other things will have a great chance. Obviously, if they turn the scoreboard on and keep score, we want to win every game we possibly can. All right, and so that would give us an opportunity maybe to compete for a conference championship. We would love to be able to do that. And if you do that in this league, you're going to be playing in November because of the competition and how great football is in this area. So, but we got to start with step number 1, and that's what our focus has been this summer. And will continue to be for the first couple of weeks.
Right, and you mentioned it. This league, it's tough. You've been around it a long, long time. So coming in as a new coach, it's not quite as challenging as maybe some other coaches that come in and don't know the teams quite as well. For you, it's a little different since you were in the Chagrin division, and now you're learning a little bit about some other teams, but you're familiar enough with them. But yeah, it's great to have you back in the league. Always great to have quality coaches, and good to have you here. So best of luck to you at Hawken. And guys, keep it going, man. It was fun to watch that offense last year. Hopefully you can put it all together, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
All right, that was the Hawken Hawks here wrapping up our CVC Football Media Day, but we're not done yet. We have a little addition here today. Our Cardinal Volleyball team was not able to make one of our previous Media Day events, so they're going to come in here and get an opportunity to talk about their upcoming season with head coach Ann Mann. I am going to take a quick break. I've got a little costume change, and then we'll be back with the Cardinal Volleyball team. Welcome back to CVC Football Media Day. We're changing gears here a little bit, and we're going to talk some volleyball. As you notice, I changed my props on the table. It's all about attention to detail here. So up next, we've got the Cardinal Volleyball team, new head coach Ann Mann joining the program after Carissa Chambers has stepped away. So Ann was over at Berkshire for several years, and now she's taking over the rival Huskies, and a big rebuilding job ahead, as I think they had, 11 seniors last year that they graduated. So a lot of new faces in that Cardinal lineup. So Coach Mann, go ahead and just kind of tell us how things have gone so far and talk a little bit about your program.
Okay, so it's kind of just been an easy transition coming over to Cardinal. Everyone has been great, supportive. Talking with Carissa and just building off what she has done has been, I've always gravitated towards her coaching style and the program that she's built, watching from the sidelines and seeing the girls just give everything they have for her, and everything they can do to play when they're playing for her has just been amazing. So I've kind of been always interested in what she's done over there, and then when this opportunity presented itself, there was no way I was going to pass it up. So anyways, the girls have been great. We are young. We have 3 seniors this year, but they have taken a leadership role to the next level. They have kept the standards high. They kept the discipline on the team where we want it to be, and we're just continuing to build off of that. I don't know, is there anything else?
Just going with this young team, obviously when you look at the Valley Division, Kirtland's won it 2 years in a row. They've gone to the regionals 2 years in a row. Berkshire's up and coming again. They're going to be right up there. Crestwood had a down year. They're back, So it's a really tough division to rebuild in. You're going to go up, and almost every night you're going to be pushed and tested. So you've got all these young players, and I'll talk to your players about this too, but just from your perspective, what is it going to take for those young kids that you're going to throw into the fire just to kind of be ready to play at that level every night?
Right. Well, we do have every grade level represented in the starting lineup. They are working together. They're learning how to work together, use each other's strengths and weaknesses to help each other just pull through and score. They have experience, though, with playing JO and things like that, so they have played at the higher level. It's just, bonding them together and getting everything to work out on the court. The girls they are fighters. They come to practice every single day, willing to work, willing to do, anything that I've asked them to do, they have done. And we have a strong coaching staff coming in with us this year. We have Glenn Conley, who's from, he
was at Kent State when I was at Kent State,
yes,
so he's been around.
He has tremendous amount of knowledge and experience. I met him at Eastside and started working with him there. And we are just so lucky to have him on our staff. So he'll be training with skills and paying attention to the small details and things like that with them. And we also have Carrie Getz coming in with us. She has great experience playing and coaching at the club level. She's also a personal trainer, so she's going to work with them on just building a strong mind, nutrition-wise, fueling your body, and being disciplined in all areas of your life. So it could show on the court, off the court, in the classroom, with their families, just being the entire package. So we look forward to that.
One of the things I talked with Carissa over the years about was that strong mind, and it always seemed to show up, and you probably knew this from your days at Berkshire too, is that Cardinal Berkshire game, like the younger team seemed to always kind of have the deer in headlights look, and Berkshire had it when they were the younger squad a couple years ago, and Cardinal had the veteran teams, and then Cardinal had some years where they were kind of like, ooh, this is a game we're not ready for, and so that mindset, what are you doing to just get them?
We will be ready for every single game, every single match. We will be ready to play. When we come into a gym, we are ready to work. So there's no doubt in my mind that these girls will give it their all. It does not matter who's across the net. We will come in and work till we are finished. So I have no doubt in my mind that they will come every single day, just like they have in preseason and since our first practice started. So.
All right, well, I'll start talking to your players, and then I'll come back to you to wrap things up. So, Ronnie, you're up first. Go ahead, grab that microphone. Make sure your black switch is up, and then introduce yourself, name, grade, and position you're going to play.
I'm
I'm Ronnie. I'm a senior, and I'm a 6th rotation player.
So, Ronnie, 4 years ago when you were a freshman getting some varsity time on a veteran squad, and then the last 2 years you had all these upperclassmen. Well, now you're it. You're one of 3 seniors, and you've got a whole bunch of girls that are just playing varsity for the first time. I know you. I know you're competitive. You're a multi-sport athlete. You hate to lose. So I know that's kind of the mentality that your team has to kind of take. How are you pushing that onto the other girls?
Well, I always say, like, I want every girl to come in giving 100%. I don't ever want someone coming into, like, a game saying, oh, we're going to lose. Like, I just want, and I don't want to come in like that either. I want everyone to feed off of my energy and how I come in and I play.
Yeah,
So-
she's been a great example just by leading the girls by example, by her time on the court and her mindset and her attitude and her just aggressiveness. So the girls have a great example to follow and live up to.
How important was that for you as a young player to learn the right way to play from an older player?
It was really important. Like, I loved being, because I've always had, like, since I was a freshman, sophomore, like, I've always had many older girls to look up to and, like, good players. Like, I've learned my ways. Like, I just know, like, come in, work hard, and that's how it should be.
Cardinals had a strong volleyball culture over the years. This year, you're, a very young team, rebuilding. What's it going to take to kind of meet your own standard?
I think with just everyone coming in, like, we all need to work together, and when we're down, like, bring each other up. Like, it doesn't matter who it is. It could be a freshman. Like, just try and bring everybody up and just work together as a team.
Name some players that have impressed you as a senior leader. Who are some of the younger players that have impressed you so far in the preseason?
Definitely freshman Allie Pruski. She's a very good asset to our team. Like, I haven't seen, like, that, like, experienced freshman in a while, and I think that having her, she knows how to play volleyball. She's played for a while. Like, I think that she's gonna complete our team. I think that she's gonna be very good growing up.
Cardinals always had some dominant hitters. Who are they going to be this year?
Definitely Allie's one of them. And
Ronnie will be our other outside hitter this year. She is strong and athletic, and this girl can jump. So she's going to be a great force to reckon with.
Any others in the mix?
Our right side, Kelsey, she's a very good right side. We need her there. She works hard. She earned her spot, and that's where we need her. Our middles, Carissa, Morgan, they both have very different, like, hits and strengths, and we need them both for that.
Coaching change, so obviously maybe some different strategies. How are you guys trying to distribute the ball, move it around, and attack defenses?
Well, last year was definitely different. Coming into this year, it was, like, harder to adjust being a senior. Like, we had to, like, adjust to our new coach. We didn't know what she was about. We did not know her, but I think that
You're just like, who's this lady coming from Berkshire? Oh my gosh.
we were kind of confused about that, but so we didn't know how we would adjust.
She looks better in black.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
But I think that it's good for us, and it's good for the younger ones, and it's going to be good for rebuilding our program because she knows a lot. She's coached a lot, and I think it's going to be good. And she knows. She's got our whole season planned. She knows what to do. So
I know.
It's funny. We do our lock-in, and that was something that they wanted to continue with the tradition of the lock-in. And they come in and we do a couple activities and things, and then they're like setting up their beds, and I'm like, what is going, like, I said, you guys go to sleep? And they're like, yeah, we go to sleep. And I'm like, because I like pull out my clipboard, and I'm like, oh, no, we have all these bonding things to do. We stayed up the entire night, like, what's next? So just forming that bond is important, and I think the lock-in was great, especially coming in as the new coach. Just being able to do that, and I was able to hang with them, and we did not sleep at all. We had a lot of fun, a lot of bonding going on. So just having that is a strength, a huge strength to have and to take onto the court.
I wouldn't make it through a lock-in because I can't stay awake past 9 o'clock. I'm old. So, Ronnie, one more for you. You know, everybody sets a goal. You want to win the conference. You want to maybe win a sectional title, district title, regionals. You know, dream of winning a state title. Not everyone can achieve all those goals, but you can still have a successful year. What's a successful year for Cardinal this year?
I think our biggest goal this year is being together, like, as a team. Like, we're very young, but we have a lot of team chemistry. We all know how we play, and I think we play very good together with what we have. And I just think one of our goals, our biggest goals this season, should be to just balls to the wall, like, just do the most you can. And
yeah, we talked about when I first met with them, they asked, what do you want from us? And I said, discipline. I said, we need to be disciplined with this young team and this shorter team. We need to be disciplined, and we need to be able to put the ball where we want to put the ball to score. So, and that's what we've been working on. They've been very successful with that. So I'm very impressed.
No Carolyn Rakowski's in the lineup?
No. Well, listen, you guys will be surprised. These girls have talent. They really do.
All right, Skylar, you're up next. Grab your mic. Go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and what position you're playing this year. Flip your black switch up. There you go.
I'm Skylar. I'm a senior, and I'm the libero this year.
Skylar, I remember, your first few times on varsity, you had that look I was talking about earlier. You were like, I don't want to make a mistake. And, and so as you've grown as a player, you've realized that if you're afraid of making a mistake, you're going to make a mistake. So you have to go out and play confidently. Are you at that point now as a senior?
I definitely am at that point. It definitely took me, sophomore year I was on, and I played. And then junior year, I was more comfortable. And then this year, I feel completely confident. Coach helped me with it a lot.
And now you're a senior, and now you see all these other young players coming up. Are you seeing that look in their faces?
Not real. I don't really see it because our front row, we have Allie, like Ronnie was talking about. She definitely doesn't have that look. And then my back row, we have Emma. She's a junior. She doesn't give me that look. And then who else in the back? Ronnie's in the back row with me, so she definitely doesn't have that look. And then
we've been working also just trusting each other. Like, we're going to make mistakes. There's going to be things that we're going to be out of system. So working on what to do when that happens. Everyone stays calm, put the ball where we want it, and we trust each other, and we put the ball down to score.
Yes.
So.
As that back row player, the libero, you guys aren't going to have the tallest team, so you're not going to get many of the little tips. You're going to be getting some rocket shots coming at you unless your blockers are pulling off some magic or coach draws up some strategies to alleviate that. But how are you guys preparing to play some exceptional defense and keep the ball off the floor?
Well, for practices, and then we had a scrimmage on Thursday. We had a outside hitter on that team that was just killing the ball, and we didn't really have a block. But I think our defense did very well, and even their serve receive was very hard, but we didn't have shank balls a lot. But for practices, coach just kills us with balls and we have to get a touch, some kind of touch, because we don't have a block this year that we would have had last year.
So did she take a page out of the dodgeball movie? She put you in catcher's gear and hits golf balls at you?
She was killing us. She was killing us.
But we're just learning to work with our strengths right now, and our defense is amazing in the back row. These girls, I'm not kidding you, they are all over the floor. They will pick up anything. So we're working on our blocking and things like that because that definitely will help them. But they are right there. They know where to be, and they know how to pick up the ball. So.
See, and it's that effort can make up for a lot of shortcomings. And if you don't have that effort, it makes it a lot harder. But now that you have that effort, it certainly can help you get into a game a little bit easier and settle in faster. What is it going to take for your young squad to really come in and just say, you know what, we're young, but we've got some talent, we've got some confidence. How are you going to put it all together?
I think we are going to put it together pretty well. I think they all have that mindset already, like that we're a young team, we're a short team. But, like, our chemistry, like Ronnie said, is amazing. So I think us going out on the court is going to be really good. I think we know how to play with each other. Even from that one scrimmage we had in practice, we are very good playing together.
And I think the nice thing is with more and more kids playing JO, even if they don't have the high school experience, they're still playing, they're learning, they're getting the volleyball IQ. Mm-hmm. They just have to gain the confidence. And that's where your senior leaders come in and, you know, their game experience is going to help, but as you guys as seniors pushing it to do that. So.
Yeah, I think it's going to be – I think when we get into a real game, I think we might have that deer in the headlights look from some people, but –
And I'm glad you mentioned that because that was where I was leading with my question. Even the good teams have to have a player that – when things are going well, everybody's smiling and laughing, patting each other on the butt. But when things are going poorly, who's going to be that player that says, okay, look, we made a mistake. Let's get things together, refocus. Let's not let one mistake turn into two.
I think all three of us seniors for sure have that. Like, none of us, like, we all get down on ourselves. Like, we all get upset when we make mistakes. But I think we're all going to be there, just like the whole team. And then even like the underclassmen, even like sophomores and the freshmen that are on the team and juniors, they all have it. They all have that like mentality that we're gonna go in and kill it. And even if we're down, we're still gonna not, you know.
Who's your breakout player? Who you think's gonna have a big year this year?
Personally, I think Ronnie as a new sixth rotation player, I think she's going to be very good for us. And Kelsey as our right side, she's very good there. And then our setter, Maddie.
Your sister.
My sister.
I knew you were going to have to mention her.
Yep.
I was wondering if you would, because then you have to go home and face her. And she's small but mighty.
Yeah, she will be very good for us in the front row. Coach has been working with her. She's a sophomore. So, I mean, setting is a new thing for her, especially for JO. She was a libero, so it's a new thing for her. And then for back row, Emma is going to be very good with me in the back row. And then Ronnie will be there back for the sixth. But I think all of us are going to have a good season.
All right. Coach, back to you. You know, obviously, you've got a young team, and I don't want to take anything away from them, but you have to temper expectations and goals and things like that. I don't think you can go in saying, you know what, our goal is to win a state title. First, your goal has to be, let's go out and let's not, pee down our leg when things get tough. And, with the young kids, you never know. Teenagers, whether it's boys or girls, are going to go out, and when things get tough, you don't know how they're going to react. And so maybe that's your first goal. But what's it going to take for you to be satisfied with what your team accomplishes in year one?
So for this year, we're just really focused on working on discipline, being the entire package. We've done a lot of work with the elementary school and the middle school, and we're going to continue to work through that throughout the whole season here. Just learning, the different aspects of the game and encouraging them and seeing, teaching them. It's a lot different playing and coaching. I always said I'd rather be playing than coaching. It's a big learning experience for me, but having them be in those roles and encouraging the young players coming up and working with the community and things like that, I think the girls having that kind of support is going to take them to the next level. So just being involved with each other, supporting each other, and working as a team, as a family. We're a family. We started in the summer. Everyone shows up. These girls were coming in. So I committed to teaching summer school. I'm a first grade teacher at Berkshire, and I committed to teaching summer school before I accepted this position. And the only option was to come in at 6 a.m. These girls were there 6 a.m. every single time, 5:45. And then they wanted to continue it for the rest of the summer until August 1st. So to me, I was so impressed with their desire to get better and to work. And it did not matter what time, they were going to be there, and they were coming 100% ready to work every single time. So that is what is going to just take us to the next level. I have no doubt in my mind that these girls are going to do amazing things this year. It's going to be exciting. Our coaching staff is very excited, and we are just ready to get things going. So.
And that bodes well for the future, because if your senior leaders are saying, you know what, 6 o'clock's good by us, well, now next year's seniors are going to say, you know what, we came in at 6 last year, we'll do it again. And you start that cycle, and now those younger kids are learning that, oh, you know what, I have to sacrifice a little bit to be successful.
Right. They have high standards, and I know Coach Chambers set those standards high too, and we're just looking to continue and grow from those, because she started an amazing program, and we just want to continue it. So.
All right. I know you've probably got a few games circled on your schedule. I was out at scrimmage on Saturday, so I got to see Berkshire. They got you, as you know, that young group is finally up there as freshmen, so they've got a lot of young talent and a lot more size than they've had in the past. So they've got some height up front, and it'll be an interesting Valley division because Kirtland returned everybody just about, and like I said, Crestwood's coming back, and you guys are the dark horse. Grand Valley returns almost everybody, so it's gonna be a fun season. Valley division's always tough. You have to bring it every night, and so it sounds like you guys at least have the right attitude. Hopefully, you can put the pieces together and make a little noise this year.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming out. I'm glad you got a chance to come here for Football Media Day and changed gears a little bit. But good to see you, and best of luck this year.
Thanks for having us.
Sure. That was the Cardinal Huskies volleyball team closing out the fourth of our 4 CVC Sports Fall Media Days here. So all that's left now is to get out and play the games, and Week 1 football starts on Friday. CVC TV will be out at Orange High School for the rivalry, Beechwood at Orange. We have posted our CVC TV schedule. I will throw it up again as we close out this Media Day event, but there's your schedule. You can take a look at it. It will be online at ChagrinValleyConference.com. You'll be able to view that anytime. We will promote the games throughout the week. We will also add soccer and volleyball games throughout the season. I typically don't schedule those ahead of time because I do look for some great matchups, those types of things, because we want to get as many viewers and get some of those big games out there as possible. So I tend to do those a couple of weeks in advance. I already have some circled that I'm hoping to schedule, so we will get those rolling. But right there is your CVC TV football schedule for the season. We'll have 11 games in 10 weeks. We're picking up a Thursday game this year, so happy to do that. And before we get out of here, we do want to recognize our sponsor one more time. CVC, a big sponsor of the Chagrin Valley Conference as a whole, is Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. They are also the presenting sponsor for CVC TV. They make a lot of things possible that we do here throughout the conference. Happy to have them as a sponsor. I want to thank everybody that tuned in for this Media Day today. I want to thank Bill Tilton for running station number 1 over there to help us get through this a lot faster. Jim Wagner for producing our stream number 1. Don Lewis for coming out today. I want to thank all the coaches and players for taking part, and Matt Paul and his crew for hosting here at Kirtland High School. And before I go, thanks to everybody for tuning in. And again, here is our sponsor from CVC TV.
Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery diagnoses and treats facial pain and injuries, and also offers a full range of dental implants and bone grafting procedures. Look no further than the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery for all of your oral surgery and cosmetic surgery needs. Please visit their website at www.ohsurgery.com.